right, Sports Hounds, A2D Radio, BMW Atlantic City Studios, as always, brought to you by Gibson Mayer LLC, certified public accountants. Visit GibsonMayerLLC.com. Get to the Scantana Sports poll question today, but elephant in the room, Black Monday here in Philadelphia. LeBron James, 4 years, $137 million to the Los Angeles Lakers. Sixers out in the cold thus far, Brad, in terms of star hunting, as Brett Brown put it in his exit press conference.
Well, what's Plan B?
Plan B is, in my opinion, it is imperative that you get Kawhi Leonard in the mix here. Absolutely imperative. Because if you come away with no superstar after all the hype around star hunting, I mean, your interim GM told you needed a star to contend next year. He told you. He flat out came out and told you this team needs a star forward to contend for an NBA championship. I'm not going to say it's a disaster, it's a disappointment, or a failure that none of the three
it's not. I mean,
are here, but
you can't blame.
No, but it's super disappointing, and it's very souring
decision because LeBron obviously. This isn't a basketball decision right now. I mean, they're not winning a championship this year.
He's going to go to the Western Conference Finals.
Maybe.
I'd put money on that right now that he loses to the Warriors in the Western Conference Finals.
Well, yeah, I could see that. I mean, I would say they're definitely third or fourth in the.
And there's some Philadelphia fans out there that are venomous toward LeBron. They think he made the wrong choice. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. Time will tell. I'm still a fan of LeBron James. He doesn't owe the Philadelphia fan base anything. He doesn't owe the Cleveland Cavaliers anything. He doesn't owe Brett Brown anything. He doesn't owe Kobe Altman, the GM of the Cavs, anything. He exercised his contractual right to be an unrestricted free agent, and he chose to play for the Lakers.
Yeah,
that's fine. And the Lakers, they're going to be very good next season.
Oh, yeah. I mean, how can you not be?
I believe they won 35, 36 games, somewhere in there.
Should be a 50-win team this year.
Absolutely.
Should be a 50-win team. And you know what? I mean,
Brodo's filling in. Ryan Brodo, the great Ryan Brodo, filling in for Frank Vesby, who is on vacation in Florida this week. LeBron needs three-pointers and defense. He doesn't have the shooters in L.A., but he's got the defense.
Well,
Rajon Rondo's on the team now. Lance Stevenson's on the team now. JaVale McGee is on the team now.
It's still July 2nd. A lot of things can happen.
But, it's not like baseball, Brad. The NBA free agency is.
No, I understand that, but you can still make trades. You can.
Right.
And
it's totally imperative. The Sixers owe it to the fan base to get Kawhi Leonard in here. I don't care if it's just for 1 year, because everyone said that Paul George was only going to be in OKC for 1 year. And look what happened. He played there. They had a good season. He ended up liking it there. He signed, 4 years, $137 million. He's there for the next 4 years.
Let me ask you a question. Suppose they trade him here and he doesn't report. That's the problem. I mean, I understand, and I don't disagree with you that they need to do whatever they can to get him. But he's really being,
at some point, his people need to tell him, like, yo, you can't take 2 years off playing basketball and expect to get a max deal. No, everyone's going to think you're a joke.
I agree with you, but I'm just saying, is he that cuckoo to do something like that?
He definitely Kawhi Leonard definitely marches to the beat of his own drummer.
Yeah,
he's definitely a little bit of a strange dude.
Yeah, I mean, because
I don't know what he drives now, but for the longest time when he was making first-team All-BNs, he drove a 1997 Chevy Tahoe. Doesn't care about the glitz, the glamour. Doesn't have one of these.
He's been hanging out in East Orange.
Doesn't have one of these mansion
with his dad. I mean,
right.
This is not.
It would seem like he doesn't really care about chasing rings or playing with LeBron and two other superstars. He wants to play in his hometown for the most money he can, and that'll make him happy. And that's totally fine. That's a totally fine take. But if you trade the Sixers, you got to do something. So what are you gonna do? The Sixers are worse right now than they were.
Well, they lost Bellinelli.
They lost Bellinelli and Ilyasova.
Yeah, but
they were instrumental in their stretch run. You have to replace those guys.
They're not a replacement.
Zaire Smith, 18-year-old rookie, is going to play 20 minutes a game.
they're not
I have no
irreplaceable,
idea
though.
what's going on with Fultz.
Yeah,
Doesn't
he
want
should
to play in the summer league. I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't
He
quite
seems
get
like a
that.
strange dude in his own right. But and I don't care about trading picks. I'll trade picks at this point until I'm blue in the face. You got to get Kawhi Leonard here. Got to get him.
Well,
You got to hope that he
any other superstars you think that they could possibly try to get? I mean, what about Boogie? He's a free
Kemba
agent.
Walker. We have Embiid. It's not a center's league.
You don't want to try a Twin Towers.
No.
The only problem also with Boogie is that he's kind of a ball stopper. You know, he doesn't really throw the ball around. So I just don't know if he would work anyway with that team.
JJ Redick did re-sign with the Sixers today, so that's a big plus.
Oh yeah.
1 year, $12 to $13 million, according to the great Adrian Wojnarowski on Twitter. Let's get the Scanzano Sports poll question of the day. Dog days of summer, the dog days of sports really are upon us. We're kind of in that dead period. Baseball's alive and kicking, but it's kind of dragging a little bit before the All-Star break. So where is your focus right now heading into the dog days of summer, the dog days of sports? We got NBA free agency, NHL free agency, Major League Baseball, or are you itching for the NFL? I'm pretty much over NBA free agency now that LeBron is not on the Sixers. So cross that out. You're the hockey guy, and some stuff happened in hockey that we're certainly going to talk about. So I'm with the MLB.
Yeah, I am
phase
too,
of thing, and then as
the
always,
Rangers didn't do anything. I mean, other than re-signing one of their restricted free agents, Nemesnikov. I mean, they brought in Frederick Claesson from Ottawa, who's like a six or a 7 on a good team. He might be like a top pairing with the Rangers, but you hear this and you kind of like just drop your glass, like what?
Dion Brown checking in. What up, Dion? Thanks for listening. What's up, fellas? My main focus is on Eagles training camp. That is for me. My heart was torn out last night, so screw the NBA. It's all about the Eagles now, keeping a close eye on the Phillies. I criticize the Phillies an awful lot. They're 8 games over 500. I don't understand it, but it's July 2nd here. This team's got steam. Well, if it ended now, they'd be a wild card. I don't understand it. I don't get it. All of a sudden, Mike Calfranco is hitting the cover off the ball.
Here's something to think about, okay? Boston is playing Washington the next few games.
We're talking baseball.
Right.
Okay.
Yankees are playing Atlanta for 3 games. The Phillies are playing Baltimore the next couple of games. Phillies have a chance to do some damage here. Because you got to figure that the American League East teams could do a little damage to these National League East teams. And, while the Phillies are sitting there playing one of the worst teams in baseball.
The Orioles stink. You got to get 2 wins here.
They're pathetic.
They're so bad.
I actually just pulled up because from pretty much the last month or so, the Phillies have gone up against, some great opponents. It's really difficult.
I thought they were
stretch.
going to fall apart.
Well,
Yeah.
a lot of people did, yeah. I mean, in that stretch, we really found
They've held
out
their own.
if they were a pretender or they could be a contender. Now, if you want, I can read you their opponents. Just go over the next month because it gets a lot easier from here. And this is really where, the last month we kind of just tried to survive. Before, now it's kind of like, okay, we can actually build some momentum here. Obviously, we have the Orioles, then at the Pirates for 3 games.
They're nothing
That
special.
should-
They're
no.
nothing special.
You should get 2 out of 3 against them.
Then the Mets in New York for 4.
Worst
Mets are
worst
horrible.
team in baseball.
They stink.
And I've been trying to tell you that for 4 weeks now.
You might be. And
They are the worst team
I've re-examined
in
and
baseball.
You might be right. They're
They
so
are
bad.
so incredibly bad. They're not just bad; they're incredibly bad.
Wilmer Flores at first base.
Then
4-hitter.
we have a
Terrible.
makeup game, a single makeup game against the Orioles. Then Miami. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
they're not
a-
good.
no.
They'll be a tough
stink.
out. They try their best, but they stink.
And then it's the All-Star break, and then we come back against San Diego, Dodgers.
They're not good. The
Cincinnati.
Do we have a West Coast swing there after the All-Star break, or are they at home?
It's home. It's versus San Diego for 4. Then
The
at
Dodgers
home versus the Dodgers.
The Dodgers be tough.
Yeah, the Dodgers will
yeah.
give them a battle.
And the Reds are actually playing. What did they start? Like 3-21 to start the season.
They were the
They've
worst
been
team in
playing
baseball.
better.
They're playing a lot better.
Hey, how about Tampa Bay?
I don't understand how
They just, last
He should be the
weekend-
manager of the year.
Last weekend they swept the Yankees, and I was furious. How the hell can they get? They go and they sweep Houston, and they bomb Verlander in the first 2 innings. They scored 5 runs against him.
You can put the Oakland A's in that. In that
the Oakland
group.
A's have been playing good baseball too. But Tampa Bay has nobody other than
Ralphie.
Blake Snell.
Ralphie's in the house. Ralphie's in the house on Facebook. Let's get back.
Okay,
Rob
Freak,
Povia,
Plan B is
DFS
Leonard.
with a laughing emoji.
Say it again.
DFS. Rob Povia.
Oh, Daily Fantasy Sports. He's
that
talking
what that
about
means?
fantasy stuff. Yeah.
That's what he cares about. Okay.
Yeah,
He's
that's-
answering the
yeah,
poll question.
yes.
Gotcha. Okay. Rick Lavelle. Cousins is going to the Lakers. Don't make no sense. How they surround this guy with good players. I think DeMarcus Cousins is going to end up on the Lakers. I don't know what his injury stat. He did tear his Achilles last year. I'm not sure when he's going to be able to play, and I would also be extremely careful with how much money and how many years you give him.
Can I ask you a question?
Go
Didn't
ahead,
New
Brad.
Orleans
Of
actually have
course.
a better record?
Who?
Didn't New Orleans have a better record with the other guy that they put in his place?
Well, they made a trade for Mirotic.
Yeah, that's the guy. That's what I'm talking
From the
about.
Bulls, he's a good player. He can really shoot. He's a stretch 4. But
Because they actually had a better record without him. So
it was a shame last year because just when the New Orleans Pelicans were just starting to click with Drew and Anthony Davis and Cousins and their whole cast of supporting players, Boogie tears his Achilles. And that's the type of team that could have beaten Golden State, a team that pounds down low like that with a couple 7-footers. Which I'm not saying they would have beaten them because obviously they didn't.
They would have given him. They would have given him a battle.
But that's the type of team you need because Draymond Green's 6'8". JaVale McGee's not even there anymore.
I mean, I'll tell you what would have been perfect for the Lakers. If you disagree with me, I don't know, but I think DeAndre Jordan would have been perfect with LeBron.
DeAndre Jordan's he's on the Mavs.
He's on the Mavs now. I know. No, I'm just saying wouldn't he have been perfect?
He was supposed to be on the Mavs a couple years last time he was a free agent, and there was I don't know what happened, but he switched. What happened, bro? He's got a huge smirk on his face.
Reportedly, Blake Griffin locked him in his house.
That's right. That's right.
That's what happened.
What?
Yeah, you don't remember that? Yeah, Blake Griffin locked him in his house and convinced him to stay.
Boy,
It was
boy,
crazy.
I'll tell you what.
Good for him. Blake Griffin's now in Detroit, so DeAndre doesn't have to worry about that anymore.
That's pretty. That's pretty amusing.
Some of this stuff that goes on.
And I see the Yankees just took the lead over Atlanta as Gleyber Torres scored on a wild pitch by Anibal Sanchez. That guy. It's amazing that guy is still kicking around.
Anibal Sanchez.
Anibal Sanchez, who's actually been pitching pretty well this year. And I almost had him.
And
I
then-
almost took him on my fantasy team this week, and then I saw that he was going to pitch against the Yankees, and I said,
He's
"Nah,
terrible.
forget
He
it."
should have never been on your fantasy team to begin with.
Well, he was
Ever.
playing. He was supposed to pitch against the Reds and somebody else that was
Reds
bad.
are good.
Yeah, well, yeah, they've been hitting the ball.
I'm having
lately.
problems with Facebook, folks. So we'll get to all your comments in a second here. Once I get it back up, but I figured that the poll question was going to be heavy, either MLB Phillies 90 wins talk, which has steam despite my criticisms.
Well, what's amazing is their bullpen this weekend.
Bullpen stinks,
Yeah, but
it's not.
But it wasn't. But they were really good Saturday, and they were really good yesterday.
Rob,
I
if you
mean-
want, I have Facebook up on mine if you want me to
Awesome.
read some.
Cool.
I mean, if
Go for it, because I know Ralphie's in there. I want to get Ralphie. Congratulations, Ralphie, on your Lakers getting the best player in the world. You're not going to beat the Warriors, but you'll be in the Western Conference Finals. Maybe next year, if you sign Kawhi, you can beat the Warriors. But
Yeah, Ralph's in here. He says, "Bow down to the king. Let's go Lakers.
Oh,
let's
boy.
relax. Let's play. Let's wait until they play a game. All right."
yeah, exactly.
Ralphie.
Brodo, come on,
Exactly.
give him his due.
I can't.
I know you. I know you.
can't. He celebrates signing people like he won a championship.
Okay, and me and you wouldn't be jumping through the roof if
I
LeBron.
can't confirm or deny because we were not in that situation.
Yeah,
I can't
would've
confirm or deny.
I would have ran down Broad Street naked. butt naked if LeBron James was a Philadelphia 76er.
Luckily
right now.
for Broad Street, this didn't happen.
Well, thank you, LeBron.
Boy, oh boy.
Travis Downing says the Cavaliers are going to put Love on the trading block.
That's fine.
Yeah,
I read
we've
that
heard
a bunch.
that.
I read that a bunch of places. I mean, they need to just. They might as well. I mean,
Build everything around Colin Sexton now.
they need to hire Sam Hinkie.
Oh my God.
Why? Why not? A
No,
team
no,
like the
I'm
Hornets,
no, I don't disagree. I think a lot of teams should hire Sam Hinkie.
like teams like the Hornets.
Well, there are a lot of teams that they're now going to race for the bottom.
Yeah, they are.
I know that the Knicks next year are going to have enough room in their cap to sign a max player, so they're hoping like hell that they are the worst team in basketball. I know the front office is, so they can get a top draft pick.
Well,
And
they're
then,
not going to win many games
grab-
without Porzingis in the lineup.
He may not even play this year.
Well, that's
They may not even play him because they want to get the first round pick.
first pick. I mean, there's some stud athletes in next year's draft. So
Well, Brad, so you're a Knicks fan, obviously.
Yes.
So I keep hearing all this about Kyrie Irving after next season. Oh, he'll go home. He'll go home. As a Knicks fan, are you counting on that? Kyrie going
No,
back
I
to
don't
the
count,
Knicks?
I don't count on anything. Would I like to see the Knicks get him? Of course I would.
Yeah.
He's a special player, and if they're able to put the right players around him, I know he doesn't play any defense. I know that, but I mean, if you put him, Porzingis, Hardaway, and you get a center who's actually a mean center who actually plays defense and isn't going to take any shots and just rebounds and does the dirty work, that might work. Yeah, that's what they would need.
Travis Downing says Seth Curry headed to the Portland Trailblazers.
who cares? I mean,
There's a couple
Steph-
people in the group that are saying we
Not-
should get Seth Curry.
like why?
Because I guess his last name is Curry. I don't
So
know.
he's the same thing. That's the Philadelphia teams always do this. They always get the wrong one. We got the Matthews dude. The whole family, the whole bloodline is Hall of Famers,
The Knicks
and
got,
we get.
the Knicks got whatever his name is. The Greek Freak.
He's never even played
Yeah.
a game yet. He might be good. But, the whole family's Hall of Famers, and
Who?
we get Casey Matthews.
Greek Freak's brother. He averaged 5 points in college. I'm not counting on anything.
He's on our team. I mean,
Well, you know what's funny?
he's in the D League though, or the G League, whatever the other league is.
The pick you guys used to get him was our pick. So
was it?
ESPN that night, because ESPN ruined the entire second round because they didn't bring into account the traded picks. They said Sixers draft and then the name of Greek Freak's brother.
But the NBA is so goofy. Like, you have to make the pick and then wait for the other team to make the pick and then trade. Like, why can't it just be like the NFL? Like, when the Sixers made that trade, why can't, boom, Suns are on the clock? Be much more exciting, would it not?
David Roska says Kyrie should be back with the Cavs. Wouldn't that be an interesting thing? Kyrie goes back to the Cavs after LeBron is gone.
But they would stink.
Oh, I know.
But it seems he only cares about being the man.
Would he want to go to the Knicks if Porzingis is the man? Would he be able to handle that?
But, I mean, I don't understand why he got so butthurt, like, playing, like, it was a total team effort to beat that 73-win Warriors team in 2016.
Well,
Like,
supposedly from
They
what I
wouldn't.
heard,
They wouldn't.
He
They
was
wouldn't
mad
have
because he wanted to bring the ball up, and LeBron was always bringing the ball up.
But
that's the kind of stupidity.
I'd rather
Kyrie
play
Irving
two
has.
guard in the NBA Finals than be not in the finals.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
I mean,
So he
no.
He was mad.
He's gonna
because
get
he
his
was
money.
point
He's
guard.
good enough to where he's gonna get his money.
Dion Brown said, would you guys be okay with bringing in Jamal Crawford? It's being reported that the Sixers are very interested. I'd be okay with him. He's a scorer, something that we need to go along with J.J. Redick.
He's really old though.
He's about to be 40.
He's old.
He's
He still
old.
puts up numbers, and
He
you
can
have to
shoot.
get in. You have to get someone in here to replace Bellinelli on the perimeter. So I'd be fine with that.
I'd be fine with it. Listen, I mean, the guy doesn't play a lick of defense, and he is almost 40, but
Yeah.
we need to get someone in here to replace Bellinelli.
Called the NBA.
Yeah.
bro.
He
Yeah,
scored.
no one-
He scored 50 points. I remember when he was with the Knicks. I mean, that guy can shoot.
What year was that, 96?
It was a long time ago. Carmelo was still on the team, but that was
I
a
don't
long
know.
time
A while
ago.
ago.
If I'm the Sixers, I'm kicking the tires on Kemba Walker. You got to get someone in here. You can't have your coach go out there in his exit interview and say you're going to be star hunting this offseason and then come away with nothing. I mean, is it the end of the world? No, but it's just like you got Boston up there out processing the process.
Well, you can thank
getting
Billy King for that.
getting Kyrie Irving and Hayward back. I mean, they're the clear favorites in the East if Hayward can play.
I read a thing. A bunch of people have been saying this all week, but someone did an article about it this morning. I saw it on Twitter. I want to get your opinions on it. Obviously, and the people at home watching as well. People were trying to say if Jason Tatum was a 76er, LeBron would be here.
You're probably right.
So you agree with that?
I mean,
I
we can
think
play
so.
these
I don't think
games.
so.
We can play these games all day. He
LeBron-
seemed pretty dead set on playing for the Lakers.
I agree.
LeBron wanted to play in Los
It
Angeles.
certainly would have sweetened the pot a lot.
LeBron is no longer.
But if Jason
about
Tatum,
winning.
if Jason Tatum's on the Sixers are in the finals last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but let's be honest though. LeBron right now is all about hanging out with Jack Nicholson and all the
I don't know
stars.
about that. It was a family move.
Yeah, but he wants to hang out with the stars. He wants to play golf with all the movie stars.
Okay.
He wants to live in Beverly Hills. He wants to be a star. He wants to be a movie star. He wants to get endorsements.
Okay, but
It's
when
all-
the
it's all a
Warriors
corporate
when
package
when
now.
the Lakers get Kawhi, supposedly we'll just assume that he's going to
Okay.
be there.
Okay.
When the Lakers get Kawhi, and the Warriors aren't able to pay Klay Thompson,
Well, they're not going to be able to
the
pay.
Lakers are on top of the West.
The Golden State Warriors will not be able to play Thompson, and they also won't be able to pay Draymond Green either, because Draymond Green wants a max contract.
Draymond Green would bolt way sooner than Klay Thompson, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
Draymond Green does not have the loyalty at all. Draymond Green wants the money.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean,
you should get it.
I don't blame anybody for wanting the money.
Absolutely
I get
not.
that, but I'm just saying they could lose both those guys. That's why I was talking about possibly having them trade. I made a comment on Facebook that they should trade with the Pelicans, and maybe the Pelicans would try to sign both of those guys.
And who would so you're saying Draymond Green, Klay Thompson for like
Klay
Anthony
Thompson for Anthony Davis, and maybe somebody else. Something like that. They would be saving. I figured out the money.
Mhm.
If it was just those two for Anthony Davis, the Warriors would be saving $17 million. Even though Anthony Davis is making 27, those two guys would be making like 38 or something like that, 37 million. They'd be saving a ton of money.
But Durant's
Golden State.
he's a different breed because he's not a killer. He's not a leader. He's fine with taking the 2 years, $54 million, and being on the best team.
He just wants.
He's
to
not
going
to sign a max contract and hamstring them because he's not. That's just the way he ticks, which is fine. But eventually, because Draymond Green's not taking any discounts.
No, he wants the Bucks.
So when Kawhi inevitably goes to the Lakers, and
Which will
Draymond
be
Green,
next year.
Draymond Green, Klay Thompson leave. Let's just say they leave for free. That's wide open for the Lakers to win the West. And I think the Lakers are the second best team in the West without Kawhi Leonard.
You could make that argument. I still think I'd like to see them beat Houston first before I made that.
And then you know what's
declaration.
coming. I bet you after this season, when they see how many bad teams make the playoffs in the East, is the top 16 teams in the NBA are going to be in the playoffs.
That could happen.
That's what I'm telling you. That's what's going to happen. And then it's going to be the LeBron. They're going to call it the LeBron rule because he finally went from the East to the West, which, by the way, people said he would never do, which he did.
Yeah, I've heard all that. He's listen. If he ever was able to beat Golden State.
What if
with
LeBron?
that team,
What if LeBron goes to the finals next year and makes
That
it
would
9
be-
in a row?
That would be just an amazing story.
Yeah.
That would be an amazing story if he was.
But what if
ever
he
able
does
to
that?
do it.
How much cachet would that hold?
Well, you don't have to impress me with him. I'm a believer in him. I think he's a great player. I don't think he's as good as Jordan. He's just not. And offensively, he's not as good a shooter or not as good a killer as Kobe Bryant was either. But I mean, he's still a great
But
player.
he's better than Kobe Bryant. Come on.
No, he's not a better offensive player than Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant
I
was never.
vehemently disagree.
I'll tell you what. I
I
got 5
vehement-
championships that say.
Okay,
that
well
say
that was
he
not
was a
the question.
I'm just saying Kobe won.
And I love how people. I love the narrative that Kobe won all his championships all by himself. Too.
No, he didn't. He won with Shaq.
Yeah,
but he did win one without him.
And everyone forgets the Karl Malone, Gary Payton, Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant super team that they tried to assemble that fell flat on its face because they couldn't get along because Kobe was too much of a dickhead to share the basketball.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, but
how about when Kobe drove Shaq out of town because he was too much of a douchebag to share the basketball?
But in LA, he's still the man.
As he should be.
He's revered in LA.
He's probably a top 10.
Saying.
If I
as a shooter, I mean, he and Larry Bird are probably in the same class as far as shooting. Bird was probably a better team player as far as moving the ball. That sort of thing, getting rebounds. But it's just as far as shooting and making big shots, being a clutch player, boy, he was great. He really was. The fact that he was able to win one without Shaq too was pretty daggone amazing because that was a tough Boston team that they knocked out, boy. I'll tell you.
Deion Brown, LeBron's decision was for after basketball. He won't have to relocate. He has his production studio already in place out there. His son is attending the same school as Scottie Pippen Jr. and Kenyon Martin Jr. That I didn't know. That's good insight by Deion.
Wow.
And he wants to get into acting. What better place to do that than L.A.? So I get it too. It's fine.
See, I thought that I'd never heard that.
Well, this is Deion.
Sure,
I haven't read that either, but Deion said it.
No, I understand. And I don't really know where Deion's getting that from, but Deion, I happen to believe everything you're saying because my opinion about him going
He's
going
to have 40 years of life after basketball, 50 years of life after basketball.
He wants to hobnob with the stars. That's what he wants to do.
He's earned that right.
Sure he has. I mean, that's his choice.
I mean,
and if that's what he wants to do, I mean, then
the guy doesn't have much left to prove from a basketball standpoint. The only thing he hasn't done from a basketball standpoint in his career is go to the NBA Finals as a member of the Western Conference.
No.
Which he will do in L.A. Before his career is over,
at some point
he will lead the Lakers to a championship.
Because the Warriors' window is going to close after next year. Because free agency is ultimately
you look
going
like
to
you look like. Do you have something or no?
Yeah, no. I was just going to say, with the Lakers and LeBron, for me, the best basketball move was to come here, Philadelphia. If he wanted to have a fast track to get to another finals, continue the streak, go on and possibly beat Golden State, which I think they would have.
I think he's done chasing
Houston?
rings, though.
Well,
what about Houston?
I don't think that would have been great for his legacy because he would be joining the MVP. He'd be going west.
Well, first off, as a joke.
Well,
That's a complete joke that LeBron James was not the MVP of the
Agreed.
league.
That was
There's
awful.
literally no statistical evidence to back that up besides three-pointers made.
Mm-hmm. And two, he could not have gone to Houston unless Houston would have blown everything up. They would have had to because of the cap room.
The reports were he didn't like the city.
No, well, that's the other thing, too. So by him going to L.A., there's numerous different levels to it. Number one, it made sense for the family because they, obviously have a house out there. The family likes it. The kid can go where he wants. The two younger kids have relationships with people out in L.A. because they live out in L.A. for a big part of the year. Two, I think a big part of LeBron's legacy could be, well, the Lakers have been irrelevant for the last handful of years. LeBron going there, building the team again, making it a mecca again, that would be huge. I think three, he wants to align himself with Magic Johnson. I don't think he's worried about aligning himself with Kobe Bryant.
It's certainly good for the NBA when the Lakers are good.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
And people are making a big deal out of, now Kyrie is on, the Celtics, LeBron is now on the Lakers, so that rivalry is back. And then obviously they're trying to build up now that the Sixers and the Celtics are the only two teams that mean anything in the East. That rivalry is back. Now, do I think LeBron James going to the West is good for the NBA? No. But like you guys said, a great many of the best players in the world are in the Western Conference.
Yeah, but it's the Lakers, though.
Yes, which is
why we're gonna have 1 year of LeBron in LA. Then it's gonna be the top 16 teams in the NBA make the playoffs.
I agree with you.
Regardless of conference, it's gonna be the LeBron rule.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Greg Milikovic, Big Greg checking in. What up, Sports Hounds? I'm a baseball junkie, so of course that. But the NBA and NHL offseason do have some of my attention for sure. Mike Marshall, the Warriors aren't going anywhere. and Greg Milikovic. I'd definitely be interested in Jamal Crawford for sure. Duke can score and already knows his role. Those are 2 great points. Jamal Crawford's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
He's fine. But, I mean, what are you doing to beat the Celtics? You're not beating the Celtics. The Sixers got worse. Do you agree with that? The Sixers are worse off than their last game of the season without Bellinelli and Ilyasova?
On paper, yes. Talent, no. Because
how does that?
Because Ben Simmons is going to get better. He was only a rookie. Markelle Fultz was nothing last year. He's going to play.
Embiid will also get better.
Yes.
Embiid is young.
Brett Brown will get better as a head coach. These guys, we have to remember, right, like the premise of what you're saying. Sure, on paper, you guys losing Ersan and Bellinelli. Yeah, it doesn't help. It hurts. Us not getting LeBron or Kawhi.
I really wish they re-signed Bellinelli.
Yeah, well, I would have liked to keep Bellinelli.
Yeah.
Ersan, I don't think he was on the table, period. I think he was going to ask for too much money. But, yeah, Bellinelli being on this team would have made us better on paper.
Ilyasova got $9 million a year from Milwaukee.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
3-year, 27, I think it was.
But here's the thing. We have to remember, and I know it's not LeBron. I know it's not Kawhi. I know we're just based off of the guys that we have right now, and they're young. There's so much room for improvement. Ben Simmons is going to get better. Do you agree with this?
Yes.
Do you agree that Markelle Fultz will actually play? Like he had the yips last year.
My fingers are crossed.
Okay. But you're open to it. You haven't given up on the kid, correct?
No, but
you can't give up
mean,
after
no, I
his
agree.
rookie season.
I have to see it.
So,
I have to see something before I can be like, yeah, he's back. He's better.
Let's give him at least 25 games. Let's see what he does for the first month, then we'll make a judgment
I
call.
wish he was playing in the summer league and wasn't being such a diva about it.
Well, I don't think it's his decision. I think it's the organization protecting him. Because the one thing a lot of people
didn't Brett Brown come out and pretty much say he should be playing in it?
No, not really. I mean, even if he did say that, things can change. And I think
he should have played.
I agree.
He would have been. I mean, it would have done him some good to get some court time and go out and play.
Well, that shot's not going to get fixed until he plays in an NBA game. He can shoot in the gym for 3 hours a day, and he could just be raining jump shots. He's not going to fix the yips.
If he's got the yips, then
he's not going to fix the yips in the gym with no one guarding.
I agree.
Him.
He will not fix it until he does it
I don't
in an
care
NBA
if he
game.
goes to the court on South Street and plays with at the Y or whatever, pickup games. He's got to play basketball in a competitive setting to get rid of those yips.
I'm just telling you right now. So they had, 52 wins last year? 51? The Sixers?
It was over 50,
I think it was 52, wasn't it?
Constructed right now, and obviously barring injury, that goes without saying.
They probably do about 56 this year.
I was going to say, they do not get worse. With the team,
I think they get about 56.
No,
Yes.
because the East is complete
The East is
garbage.
garbage.
Well, that, and I think the talent is better. And Markelle Fultz being healthy, just forget, he doesn't have to be a great jump shot. He doesn't have to be a great shooter at this point.
I hear what you're saying.
He just needs to play. I agree.
The Celtics or the Sixers.
We're not worried about record. We're worried about beating the Celtics and then beating the Warriors. Yes, right now, it's an uphill climb. I understand that. But we can't act like we lost. We didn't lose LeBron James. It's not like he was on the team last year and we lost him.
I understand.
We didn't lose. We lost Marco Bellinelli and Ersan.
I'm just saying. When I hear the head coach,
it's still early in the preseason.
Yes.
When I hear the head coach say that they're star hunting this offseason and they need a star on the wing to legitimately contend, and no stars come in, that's disappointing.
Well, let me ask you guys a question.
July 2nd, though.
Yes, I agree. Exactly, Brad. Do you think if they can't get Kawhi Leonard, do you think they're just going to sit on their hands and be like, "Oh, we tried"? Or do you think – I mean, there's been rumors a bunch of different players.
It might be smart to sit on your hands until next offseason at that point.
Nah, see, I disagree. With all these picks that we've acquired, no.
Who are you going to get? Kemba?
Anybody. You have so many assets to use.
Keep in mind, there is something called a trade deadline.
Mm-hmm. True.
And with all those draft picks, that's when they can also it's July 2nd.
I know.
Okay. What you basically have.
But this isn't baseball. NBA it happens, and then they're all gone.
I understand that, but you know what?
They're already all gone. There's no good free agents except for Boogie.
Yeah, but we're talking moves. We're talking trades.
About trades.
Yes, trades. That's what I'm talking
trades.
about.
You can make trades up to February 28th or something like that.
Well, Zach Lowe is reporting that the Spurs want 2 players that they play right away and 3 picks.
Yeah, and now the new report is that they won't pull the
much.
trigger unless Markelle Fultz is involved in the deal. I don't do it.
If I would. I mean, I haven't given up on Fultz, and I get But if
you have to get a commitment from the guy
That's
that's
it.
going to play.
If he commits, then I'm sorry. Then I love Markelle Fultz. But if Kawhi commits, then I'll pull the trigger.
Yeah, you can't do that for a 1-year deal. Suppose he bolts and all those assets are gone.
Okay, we do have breaking news. DeMarcus Cousins has signed with the Golden State Warriors.
You got to be joking.
That is breaking news. Multiple sources confirmed on Twitter. Many people have confirmed in the chat.
How do they fit him in the cap?
Let me hit the alarm.
Brodo, yeah, that's a big one.
Oh God!
Wow,
unbelievable. The rich get richer.
I don't know how they're able to do that. How in the world do they do
I don't know. He must be taking less money. First off, when is he going to play?
Yeah, is he
tore his Achilles.
Yeah, he's. I don't get
we gotta get out. We gotta find out what Woj says. Did Woj have it?
The Golden State Warriors.
Woj has it. Has agreed to a deal with the Golden State Warriors. Lee Horse tells ESPN. Nothing money.
I'm
nothing money.
Sick. I'm gonna be sick.
How is that? He must have taken
here it
no
is.
money.
DeMarcus Cousins will sign a 1-year, $5.3 million deal.
So he's basically going with the exception, right? Isn't that a veteran's exception?
That is. I mean,
wow.
I would have to during the break. I'm going to look up when he's actually going to be able to play.
But you know what the thing is? He doesn't have to play more than maybe 10 minutes a game.
No, they need
him.
him.
He can get his ankle. He can get his ankle.
Well, who's their other center?
Green, right?
Well, JaVale McGee's on the Lakers now.
Yeah.
They need him for May. That's all they need him for.
Really?
I gotta say,
they don't even need him.
I was not expecting that. I was
I.
never expecting that.
That's just awful.
The rich just keep getting richer. I mean,
how does that happen?
I don't know.
How does that happen?
Oh, I'm flabbergasted
that's
right
our
now.
First, that's our first significant breaking news story.
I had to pull out the freaking alarm. I haven't done
that. Was alarm worthy. And all you Julius Randle, he's going to go to the Pelicans for 2 years, $18 million. And thank God the Sixers aren't even tempted with him now. Julius Randle stinks, folks. He would have no role on this team. He has no skill set when it comes to professional basketball. I don't understand what people.
Where would he play?
He would come off the bench and play for Dario. But wow, DeMarcus Cousins to the Golden State Warriors
for $5.3 million.
I'm speechless right now.
Yeah.
This is nuts.
That's terrible.
And we're paying, and the Knicks are paying Enes Kanter $18 million to play center this year.
Well, Cousins clearly said I'll play. He's only playing for $5.3 million for the Warriors. Anyone else is going to cost him more.
You know what's crazy too with this Paul George thing? I looked at it. He may end up, or he has the opportunity to make twice as much money as LeBron James.
Paul George.
Yes. He can make 300. He can make nearly $300 million over 7 years.
How? I don't understand.
I don't know. Well, I'll pull it up.
Weren't they identical 4 years, $137 billion deals?
I saw something this morning where in some fashion, I don't know if there's some kind of incentive-based thing.
Yeah, but he can make more money because he's re-signed with the team he's playing for. And James switched teams, so he can make a little more money. But at this point, I don't think LeBron is really all that worried about that.
No.
With the fact that he's going to be in LA, do you know what kind of endorsement deals he's going to get now? He's always been a money-making machine, but he's going to be basically printing it. Think about that for a minute.
Wasn't he already printing it though?
He'll be doing it more.
God.
He'll be doing it more. That's also LA is also a capital for memorabilia and all that kind of stuff. Do you know how many private signings he's going to do out there? Oh my God!
You know how many bandwagon fans are going to buy LeBron jerseys now?
Oh yeah.
Half of Cleveland's going to be a Lakers fan next year.
Yeah. Oh, I wonder how. They play.
I'll be rooting. I'm a
year.
LeBron fan, so I'll be rooting for out of the corner of my eye. I'll be rooting for the Lakers to do well next year for sure.
See, I can't. Ralph, you're listening. I can't do it. You know why I can't. Ralph's on my show. I can't.
I don't care about obviously not when the Lakers are playing the Sixers.
Can't do it.
But
yeah, they're in another
they're
conference.
in another
so
conference. I'll be.
it
You know,
wouldn't-
you
it
get
wouldn't
that
really
the
matter.
second half of that doubleheader. First off, the Lakers are going to be on ESPN every single night. They might make
every Tuesday and Thursday.
They might make ESPN Lakers. Like they might create a whole new channel
well, maybe the TNT.
for the LeBron.
What about the TNT Lakers?
They'll be on that too. They'll be on
Yeah.
that too.
TNT is Tuesday and Thursday, right? So every Tuesday and Thursday at 10:30, that's going to be the second half of the doubleheader.
Right.
It's going to
Every
be LeBron
game.
and the Lakers.
Maybe they'll mix the Warriors and some, but they're gonna.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the ratings on Game 1 of the Lakers season?
I wonder who they open with.
It's been released too, right?
Yeah.
We have the schedule? Ooh,
I think.
let me see. Yeah, pull that up. I gotta freaking post about. I was not expecting to have to make a DeMarcus Cousins post tonight. Good
That's
Lord.
man, 5.3 million. Jeez. 5.3.
I mean, are they ever going to stop winning?
Maybe they don't. Maybe they don't have it out yet. What would it be? 2018, 2019?
Correct. I mean,
Okay. Here's something maybe. Let's go down to the Lake Show.
Okay, let's see if it has this in here.
I mean, the Lakers and the Warriors, they're in the
Well,
same division.
Their preseason slate starts.
So they're gonna be playing for a lot. It's gonna be
They're-
must see. It's must see TV.
Their preseason starts against the Denver Nuggets.
be the highest rated preseason game of all
Ever.
time.
Yeah,
LeBron
right.
won't even play.
I was gonna say LeBron probably won't even play,
No.
right?
Yeah, their tickets are available at at the T-Mobile Arena box office and are priced at $30, $40, $52, $70, $80, $85, $90, $110, $130, $155, and $180, $180 to see a preseason game. Oh my God!
Did you guys see the updated
Seriously?
NBA Finals odds after LeBron signed?
Yeah, 4.5 to 1. I think they were right.
Well, just I can pull here. I'll pull it up.
9-2? Wow.
Let me see. NBA Finals odds. It's just amazing how far some teams fall and how some teams rise. Odds. Let me see here. The Warriors are. This is via Bovada. They're 21-20. Lakers are 7-2. Celtics are 4-1. Rockets are 13-2. Sixers are 12-1, and the Spurs are 50-1. And I think I feel like the Cavs are like 500-1 or something ridiculous.
Well, they're gonna.
They're not gonna win.
They're gonna
No.
win like.
But it's just
25
amazing
games.
how.
They'll win 25
Aw.
games. The Cavs. They're gonna be. Oh my God. You're gonna see just how much LeBron meant to that team when you see how bad they are without him.
Well, we saw it the first time he left too.
Yeah, yeah. But they were able to draft Kyrie.
And what was his name? Anthony Bennett.
Yeah.
Oh, remember that guy?
Tony Bennett left his heart in San Francisco.
Whatever happened to that guy?
Nothing.
Oh yeah.
So wow. So just NBA free agency is nuts. Because all these teams just line up and load up. Well, the Warriors don't have to load up to beat anyone, but they're still loaded up.
That's
Ralphie, rich keep getting richer. Ralphie, Loney, I don't know.
Oh, Kevin Looney. That was the other center for the Warriors.
Oh, okay, but he's not good.
No. Well, he's not a difference
Boogie.
maker.
Travis Downing, Boogie to the Warriors. I mean,
Premier 23 agrees that if the Sixers get Kawhi, they win the East. I would
Yeah,
agree with
slam
that.
dunk.
Yeah, that they should. They really should. I mean,
Now, if you're as a Sixers fan or just an NBA fan, you have the Celtics and the Sixers at number 1, and 2. Who would you say is 3 at the moment?
the Raptors.
yeah, they got to be number 3.
Them are Milwaukee.
Ooh,
Milwaukee.
the Bucks. Yeah. No, I'll take.
I just can't buy into the Raptors. I can't do it. Maybe regular
Well, they don't
season,
have to
but
play-
playoffs.
They don't have to play LeBron anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
About the Washington Wizards?
No.
No.
I can't do it.
David Rosca, Irving to the Sixers. I mean, for what? You want to sign him next year? I mean,
The Celtics are not gonna do business with the Sixers. That's not gonna happen.
well, the Sixers like doing business with the Celtics.
Yeah, Well, listen, if Danny Ainge calls the Sixers would do well to just hang up the phone. Because every trade he makes is usually a fleece job, so it's just awful.
Crazy.
To answer your poll question, by the way, NBA free agency for me, and then trying to figure out whatever the hell this Phillies team is.
I still don't know what this Phillies team is. I have no idea. Their corner out. I mean, they have just a black hole in right field. They have a black hole at third base. Franco's hitting now, but Crawford looks like he's just going to be one of those injury-prone guys that just is always hurt.
It's a shame.
Vince Velasquez got hurt the other night. I don't know what the status on him is.
They're overachieving right now, but maybe this is a year that they just overachieve and have a good year. I mean,
they're going to beat out the Dodgers for a wild card spot. I can't buy into that.
Well, I think Kershaw just came back tonight, did he not?
He pitched last week. I think
Oh,
he's
he
had
did?
2 starts.
Oh, okay. All right, because I must have missed that. But, yeah, Kershaw is just back now. So.
But the Dodgers are going to get Machado while Matt Klentak is staring at his computer screen and analytics, twiddling his thumbs. Or the Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks, I think, are a big-time sleeper in the Manny Machado sweepstakes. And that would really put them over the top.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Let's kick it around the MLB before we go to break.
Yankees now trail Atlanta 3-2. And Atlanta's batting in the top of the 5th. And the Red Sox continue to lead.
Red Sox are up 3-1.
3-1.
Miami leads Tampa 2-1. That's in the bottom of the 6th. Cincinnati Reds keep it on trucking. That's in the middle of the 6th already. They're up on the Chicago White Sox. The Milwaukee Brewers up 1-0 on the lowly Minnesota Twins this year. Kansas City's up 2-0 on Cleveland. That's a bit of a surprise. Only the bottom of the 2nd, though, there. San Francisco, the hottest team in baseball, winning 10 of their last 12, now 5 games over 500. They're up 1-0 with Madison Bumgarner on the hill. That's in the middle of the 1st, and the Tigers beat the Blue Jays in extra innings this afternoon, 3-2. So the Giants, a team that you thought was going to be dealing at the deadline,
they're not going to be dealing now.
10-12. Their starting pitching is really pitching well. They don't even.
Where are they in the standings right now?
They're in the mix for the wild card. They're a few games out. They're
not very far behind Arizona. I mean, Arizona's not that.
They're
many
45 and 40.
Okay, and Arizona's what? Arizona can't be more than 10 games over 500, can they? Which is
a lot of intrigue in the National League.
Which is amazing when you think about it, because the
46. They're exactly 10 games over 500.
Yeah, okay.
47, 37.
So they're only 2.5 games. They're only 2.5 games.
They're 2.5. They're 2.5 out. They are tied with the Dodgers. I mean, technically the Dodgers are ahead because of percentage points.
I don't see that.
I don't envision a scenario where the Dodgers aren't playing in October.
Well,
I just
they've
don't
been
see
able.
it.
I'll tell you what. You got to give them some credit, because at 16 and 24, they looked like they were in big trouble. And all those injuries, they've been able to rally and get back into the mix. And partially because Arizona went through a streak where they lost 22 out of 24, or some amazingly bad streak where they couldn't buy a win, and that's basically kept them in it. But you know what, you got to give them credit where credit is due.
Deion Branford, any of these new Laker fans that will come out of the woodworks now to rock a LeBron Lakers jersey is a damn shame. They love him but hate Kobe. Befuddles me. First of all, what Lakers fan hates Kobe?
None. Kobe is revered in Los Angeles.
I'm a huge Kobe fan. Only reason I watched LA. I followed his career since high school, but just Philly alone is filled with bandwagon ass fans and other teams, and it sickens me. So Deion's frustrated. He's angry. I'm not sure why he's angry. I don't know what Lakers fan hates Kobe. But there's going to be a lot of bandwagon fans that are just going to be Lakers fans. Le'Veon Bell being one of them, running back of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh boy.
He tweeted, "Call me a bandwagon fan, but I go wherever LeBron goes."
Yeah, okay.
There's going to be a lot of people like that.
There already are a lot of people like that.
Now, I will root when the Lakers inevitably play the Warriors in the Western Conference Finals. I'll be rooting my ass off for the Warriors to fall on their face. I always do. I hope the Warriors lose every game. I can't stand Steph Curry. I can't stand Kevin Durant.
Well, you and
I
everybody
can't
else.
stand Draymond Green.
Oh,
I hate them.
See, here's the thing, though.
I hate them.
They're just so they're really despicable.
Don't you
They
want to?
really are.
Don't you want? I'm not saying you have to root for the Warriors. 'Cause I don't. I can't stand that team. But do you really want to root for LeBron to be the team to take them down, or why don't we want the same thing that happened to the Patriots? When we took them down, why can't we be the guy that the team that takes them down?
Because it's impossible for the Sixers team to beat the Warriors 4 out of 7 times.
Maybe this season, but going forward.
Let me ask you this. If the Eagles and the Patriots played a 7-game series for the Super Bowl last year, do you think the Eagles would have beat the Patriots 4 out of 7 times?
Those two teams?
Do you think Tom Brady would lose 4 out of 7 times to anybody?
4 out of 7? Yes. Look at the teams.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean,
The Eagles played the game of their life, and they barely.
and they
their
also
defense
did-
didn't
and
have a
what's his name?
pulse.
Butler didn't play.
I mean,
either.
We played a game in the
Bill
Super Bowl
Belichick-
against Tom Brady, and our defense did not have a pulse, and we still won.
But they didn't have a pulse because Tom Brady's that fucking good.
I don't listen. That's semantics. Either way, if you ask me in a best of 7 series, the Eagles against the Patriots with those two teams, I'm going with the Eagles.
that would be 4-3 for sure.
It would be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it'd be close.
You'd never really know, but
I'm not saying we would sweep them.
We'll see. Kimberly Wallace, Vince status, 10-day IR, elbow contusion. Good info, Kimberly Wallace. So, I mean, shocker. Vince Velasquez finds
Hurt
himself
again.
on the DL. So now what? The Eflin, who's been pitching,
He's been lights out.
He's been lights out. It makes no
5-0.
sense.
That guy's unbelievable. That guy threw a 3-hitter against the Yankees.
I mean, it was a hollow victory because the Yankees didn't play anybody, but it still
They
counts.
still count in the standings. And you know what? I was mad as hell at the Yankees for resting all those guys with a day off the next day.
Oh yeah, I saw.
I thought
I saw your Facebook.
Yeah, that was just ridiculous to do that.
So what? I mean, it's Nola, Arrieta, Pavetta, Eflin, and Thompson.
I think that's what
Is
they
Mike
hope.
off back?
No.
Good.
Throw Cole Hamels' name in that mix.
I'm all for it.
There you go. I mean, here's
I'm all
another
for it.
reason.
I'm all for
Here
it.
we go.
J Happ.
Yeah, but $25 million though.
Not worried about
This
option-
team
first
doesn't
option.
pay
Do you
anybody.
think the Phillies are really going to do that, and then they have
Why
to pick up this
not?
option?
They don't.
Who are you paying that's such a detriment?
Yeah, Brad. On any other team, I would somewhat agree with you. The Phillies have no. This is not the Eagles. We don't worry about
They
money.
are-
This team has been
Okay.
saving money for years.
Well,
We can do
they
anything
need
with
to-
money.
they could do
Their
that
payroll
then.
is insulting.
We can
based
literally
on the
pretend we're
market
the
they play
Yankees. Like when you were saying before the show how people accuse the Yankees of buying their team, the Phillies can try and do that times 10. That's how much money we have.
I mean,
It's
I don't know.
ridiculous.
Listen, as far as Cole Hamels is concerned, in the National League, maybe, but Cole Hamels, I'm sorry. If you're asking me if I trust him in Boston or in Houston in a Game 2 situation, no.
Well, but in a Philly situation, do you trust him more than Jake Thompson?
Yeah.
Okay. What about a Zach Eflin? Or I'm sorry, Eichhoff. You trust
Yes.
more than that?
Yes.
How about Vince Velasquez when healthy? You trust him more than that?
Which Vince Velasquez is going
Boy,
to
I-
show?
Well,
up?
they you just answered the question.
yeah,
Hey, let's
so-
go. I mean, let's
listen, if
do
you're
this
asking me-
here.
If you're asking me if I would trust Cole Hamels more than I trust, say, Sonny Gray, yeah, I would.
So then why are you hating on Cole Hamels? I don't understand.
Because I just don't think that in a big game anymore he can go into Houston or Boston and shut them down. I don't think
that's
that.
a very short list of
Do you
pitchers that can do that.
Do you think he could be a third guy for a team that is trying to make a playoff push and probably will make a wild card? Do you think Cole Hamels could do that?
Absolutely.
Then he's our guy. Then come on, Clint Tack, let's do it.
He's
Let's
not,
pull the
he's
trigger.
not going to do anything.
I know. That's why I hate this freaking GM. I
I
can't stand
hate
him.
Matt Klintak.
He's scared to do anything.
And,
Yeah,
and
he
Gabe
has to be-
Kapler.
he
How
has
much
to
of a dork
basically-
does he look
You
like
have
with
to
all those
basically beat him
Sharpies?
in the head.
All those Sharpies on his collar.
I don't-
like
listen,
a freaking nerd.
I don't care what he looks like as long as he ends up being a good coach. That's all I care about. Is he a character? Is he probably a disaster? Sure. But listen, they're winning right now.
Chip Kelly won games at first, too.
That's true.
Just
That's
saying.
true.
I don't disagree.
Just saying.
Okay. You want to see a disaster, a walking disaster in baseball? The New York Mets.
Oh.
If I'm the Mets,
I just love taking pops at them.
if I'm the Mets, I'm trading Syndergaard, I'm trading DeGrom, I'm trading Wheeler, I'm trading Matz, I'm trading Conforto. I'm starting all over.
It's amazing how they don't want to trade DeGrom, and they're saying they want to build around Syndergaard. How are they going to build around those guys? With what? They have no farm system. Their farm system is the 28th ranked farm system in Major League Baseball right now. 28th. There is nobody on the farm system that can play right now. I mean, you look at that team. If they were to trade with the Yankees, which they're so worried about, we're in the same market. If you traded with the Yankees, you could probably get two guys who could play right away, who could really help their team, and two of their top prospects. I mean, I just don't get it. I mean, what are you so afraid of? Because he's plays in the Bronx?
They should just. Are you talking about one of those pitchers going to the Yankees? Sorry,
of course.
It makes way too much sense.
Yeah, I mean,
for everyone to help everyone.
I mean, the Yankees have the prospects that they need. That's the whole thing. I mean, the only team that I could see that might be able. I mean, Boston doesn't have the kind of prospects.
If the Yankees add DeGrom, I think DeGrom's better than Syndergaard. But
he is better than
Syndergaard. Maybe that's just me.
No,
I don't know what the popular opinion on that is.
All the Met fans think that Syndergaard is not as good as DeGrom.
Okay, well, that's one thing that they're right about.
Yeah, they all feel the same way you do. And I mean, DeGrom would be perfect in every way for the Yankees.
If you put DeGrom on the Yankees, that's a guarantee. That's a guaranteed World Series championship.
I would be,
and I already think the Yankees are the best team in baseball and are going to win the World Series.
I would be
as constructed.
I would be thinking that in a game 2 with him, you could match him up against any game 2 pitcher. But we've already got our game 1 guy who we could match up against anybody right now in Severino. Yep. I mean, last night what did he give up? 2 hits in 6 2/3 against the Red Sox. He just came out because Boone didn't want him to throw too many pitches, but they were ahead 8-0 at the time they took him out. So, I mean, that guy, I would be shocked if that guy doesn't start the All-Star game the way he's pitching right now. 13-2 ERA under 2. That's pretty darn good.
But is DeGrom better than Severino?
He's got a better ERA.
It's really unbelievable. He's got an under 2 ERA and he's 2-9 or whatever he is.
No, he's like 4-6 or something like that.
Yeah,
but
ridiculous.
the other day he after he lost that game against Miami, he just said he's sick of losing.
Before we go to break, David Roscoe wants to know who the Angels are going to get at the trade deadline.
The Angels?
They got to do something.
I think they're going to be sellers.
They're falling fast.
They're just not.
Ohtani's about to come back as a hitter.
They have no pitching.
Hitter only.
They have no pitching. David, what I would ask you is this: did you see them play against the Boston Red Sox?
The A's are better than the Angels right now.
They got beat up like a drum by the Red. I mean, that was embarrassing what happened to them against the Red Sox. To lose 6 straight, and basically out of the 6 games, 5 of them they were massacred.
Yeah, they're not good.
I mean, they stink. And when they played the Yankees swept them too. I mean, if you're looking at them against the top competition, they were destroyed. I mean, the Tampa Bay Rays, in my opinion, right now are more of a threat than the Angels are.
So is Oakland. We got to take a break though. Switching over to YouTube exclusively on the other side. Sports Hounds, A2D Radio. We'll be back right after this. HUD Radio, Sports Hounds, BMW Atlantic City Studios, second hour exclusively on YouTube. I'm Rob Brinkman, he's Brad Ryer. Ryan Brodo producing the show tonight, subbing in nicely for Frank Vesby. Scantano Sports Poll question. Dog days of summer, dog days of sports are upon us. Where are you in terms of your sports allegiance? NBA free agency, NHL offseason, Major League Baseball, or are you itching for the NFL? For me, it's Major League Baseball, and I'm itching for football. My juices got going a little when Brodo was sounding the horn with Boogie going to the Warriors during our show. But the NHL free agency started July 1st as well. I'm sure James Wilder, I don't know where his hockey allegiance is, but he is from Canada.
He's a Winnipeg Jets fan, I believe.
But Jonathan Tavares is going north of the border.
He is going to to Toronto, as I said he would.
Are they the favorites? Are they the favorites in the East now with him?
No,
no,
because you know what? Listen, he's a good player, and I don't want to take anything away from John Tavares. He's a terrific player, but they also lost JVR.
Well, he's on the Flyers now.
I
criticize the Flyers a lot.
We'll get to that in a second.
I think they did good there.
We'll get to that in a second. But the fact that if Toronto was able to keep JVR and sign Tavares, then you'd really have something. But the fact that they lost a big, strong winger along the boards that can score, it gets them up a little bit. But does it get it past the Boston Bruins? I don't think so, and I don't think it definitely doesn't get them past the Tampa Bay Lightning either. Just some of the things that happened. Joe Thornton is back with the San Jose Sharks, 1 year, $5 million. James Neal goes from Vegas.
Monster deal from
to
Detroit,
Calgary.
Right? Oh, Calgary.
Yeah, 5 years, $28 million.
So he cashed in.
He did.
Resurrected his career and got a whole new payday out of it. Good for him.
Yep. Zach Ronaldo actually has signed a two-way deal with the Predators. I can't believe that guy's still in the league. The Buffalo Sabres, I don't know what they're doing, but they traded Ryan O'Reilly to St. Louis for Tage Thompson, Patrick Berglund, Valimir Sabata.
They've been talking about trading him for a while, and the Flyers look to be.
I don't get it.
Very good suitors for him, but
I don't get it. I mean, I just
not to be.
Yeah, the Islanders spent $12 million for Leo Komarov, who is one of the biggest goons in hockey. He's a very dirty player. Now, is he hard to play against? Yeah, but $12 million for a guy who's a fourth liner. I mean, really? 4 years, $12 million. That's $3 million a year. You don't pay fourth line players $3 million a year. That's
the Islanders do.
Yeah, that's just really not a smart move.
They got a good coach now.
Yes, they
have
do.
Barry Trotz.
I don't.
Defending
get
Stanley
that
Cup champion.
Some of the smart moves here. Vancouver brings Sven Barteski back on a 3-year, $10 million contract. That's a good deal. The Oilers go and they bring in Tobias Reeder for $2 million for 1 year. I think that's a real smart move.
All right, well, let's get to the Fly guys, because I actually like the James Van Riemsdyk move. 36 goals last year.
I think it's a pretty good move, too.
Everyone's freaking out the 5 years part, but
that's
if you buy him out after 3, I'm fine. I don't care.
Problem is, if you buy him out, then you're paying him for 4 years after that.
Cool. But he's 29. I'm hoping to get 3 years out of him. The Flyers, they didn't score enough goals last year. They don't have enough goal scorers.
Their problem
at
is
the forward position.
I'll tell you what, towards the end of the season and in the playoffs, they were scoring enough goals. The problem with them is that they are not great defensively, and they're not great between the pipes. Now, I know that Carter Hart is a top prospect. I believe he's rated number 3rd.
I'm sick of hearing about him. Put him in the game.
You know what? If he's going to be the next Marty Brodeur, then bring him up. If he's not, then you guys.
Why don't you find out sooner rather than later?
Yeah, you know what? You can play him 10. You can play him 9 games, and if he's not ready, you can send him back to juniors. Do what every other team who thinks they have a big stud in junior hockey. Bring him up for 9 games. You can always send him back for. He can't play 10 because if he plays 10, then he's got to stay in the roster the whole season. I get that, but bring him up for 9 games. Let's see what he's got early in the season.
Braden Shen goes to the Ducks.
That's a good move for Anaheim. I mean, because Anaheim really, really struggled to score goals last year. Let's see.
Are the Flyers a playoff team next year?
Oh, yeah. Easily.
Easily.
Easily. Minnesota picks up Matt Hendricks and Eric Fair. Nick Holden joins Vegas. Nick Holden. He stinks. Matt Cullen is still playing. Signed a 1-year deal with the Pittsburgh Penguins at 41 years old. Let's see if anybody else. John Moore, $13 million deal with the Boston Bruins. Boy, I'll tell you what, John Moore, for a guy who's got limited skills, that's a lot of money for him. I know it's 5 years, but 5 years, $13 million for him. Boy, oh boy. J.T. Brown signs with the Wild, big deal. The Oilers pick up Kyle Brodziak. Not a bad move for that. Not a bad move. Michael Grabner goes and signs with the Arizona Coyotes for 3 years and $10.5
So who's won the offseason thus far?
Oh, it's got to be the Leafs.
But what, the Lightning are the favorite in the East?
Well, the Lightning right now, they went and they signed Ryan McDonough to a 7-year contract, $6.75 a year for 7 years, beginning in 1920. They also extended Miller. They are the team to beat right now in that division.
You say that every year, and they never win.
Well, they did take the Capitals to 7 games.
What's that called when you almost win?
What, choking?
Losing.
Well,
It's called losing when you almost win.
They've been knocking on the door, though. I mean, Colorado adds defenseman Ian Cole. Good move for Colorado. I like that move. Blake Como with Dallas. Carter Hutton, 3-year deal with Buffalo. Carter Hutton's always been.
Who's the best? Who's the best available? What can the Flyers do to ensure a playoff spot? Maybe even win a round in the playoffs. God forbid. Who's out there that can help the Flyers right now?
As for if I were them, I would trade and bring in Erik Karlsson.
Okay.
I was saying that last year.
He's an excellent player.
He is an outstanding.
How much?
Player.
But what? I mean, Ottawa's a mess right now. From what I see, their ownership, they got problems. They
Ottawa
completely stink.
They're in the toilet right now. I would go out and see if you could make a move to get a guy like him. He would. I mean, could you imagine their power play if you had him along with Ghost on the other side at the points?
Giroux's a very good power play.
Exactly. Simmons is very good in front of the net. I mean,
I don't have the stats in front of me, but I bet
Voracek
JVR is probably pretty good on the
listen,
the power play.
He's another one. JVR will dominate the corners and he'll get in front of the net, and then you have Giroux and also Voracek. I mean, their power play. If you got Karlsson to play the point on the power play, what do you think about that, Mr. Brodo?
That'd be awesome. But what's that going to cost you? How do the Flyers realistically get?
I think honestly
a top 5 defenseman in the NHL,
because they have.
Is that a fair statement? That
yes,
he's that good.
But they have a lot of young players still in their farm system. They could give up a draft choice. You know what? They are now basically they've proven that they're a playoff team.
Now, does that realistically get it done, or are we just in la make believe GM land?
No, he is readily available. I don't know what other teams are offering. That's the only thing, but. I mean, what would a trade to get him look like? You'd have to trade a couple of your top prospects, probably a first-round pick, and probably a young player who's on the roster right now. Who
all right,
like
so
let's
say they do all that, they get Karlsson. They go to the conference finals.
I think they could. I think he'd make a huge difference. I mean, Karlsson especially. I mean, Listen, did he have a good year last year? No, but he was recovering from ankle surgery, and he just was never really right. Look at Claude Giroux. The year after he had hip surgery, that was
100 points. 100 points last year. I like G.
But this past season he was healthy. The year before he was not. This season he was healthy, completely came back from hip surgery, and he had a big year. I would look for the same thing from Erik Karlsson. Erik Karlsson can change a game. I mean, he's that good. And if you had him and Gostisbehere, I mean, they don't have to play together. They shouldn't play together except on the power play. But if your defense has a guy like Karlsson and him and the Russian guy,
Provorov. Like Provorov.
Man, those three, that's.
I like Konechny too.
Konechny is a good player.
I wouldn't trade him.
Yeah, I mean that's a guy that's a guy that you don't trade. Although if you're Ottawa, you probably want him, but that's not a guy you want to trade because he's part of the package. But that's what a trade with Ottawa would look like. You know, you'd have to have a first round draft choice for sure. You'd have to give up 2 top prospects from your farm system, and a guy who can go in right now and play for them. You know, a defenseman. Now, would it be a guy like?
Is that fair? Is that fair value, or are the Flyers getting ripped off?
They're not. No, that the Flyers would not be getting ripped off. The whole thing is what's fair value as far as Ottawa is concerned, and who is trying to get him besides them, and what else is on the table? That's the question for Ottawa. I mean, Ottawa is probably. I mean, Dorian is probably gonna take his time down in Ottawa and make sure that he gets the right package. But I mean, I think any team who is a team that feels that they're going to be in the playoffs this year would be out of their minds not to take a pop at him and kick the tires on him and see what's going on there. I think that's a guy who could make a big difference for the Flyers. I mean, he's still out there. Anthony Panarin is still out there. I mean, you never really know until you kick the tires on some of these guys, but there are guys out there that you can still bring in. I still think the Flyers should go out and get themselves a real good goalie, even if it's a guy that's on the last year of his contract, or maybe a guy who has maybe 2 years left until Hart is ready to come up here and play and assume full responsibilities. A guy like Brian Elliott is not going to get it done.
Brian Elliott stinks.
Brian Elliott is not going to get it done. You've already seen him. Neuvert is a guy that is hot and cold. He'll have one good game and get everybody pumped up, and then he'll stink it up for the next 2 games.
The internet's broken, by the way. The Twitter's broken. Everything's broken with DeMarcus Cousins going to the Warriors.
Yeah, I can
Everyone's
imagine.
freaking out. NBA is broken. NBA is ruined.
Well, I mean, look, I meant to do it during the break, but I was doing my fantasy baseball lineup for tomorrow. Okay. Did you hear the horn? Okay, and let's see. Just tuned in. D22 just tuned in. Marlowe should. What's this? Marlowe should. What is wrong with this thing?
I don't know. I'm dumb, but the realignment is 100% coming in the NBA. It's 100% coming. It's going to be the top 16 teams in the playoffs, and there's going to be about 12 Western Conference teams and about 4 Eastern Conference teams. Luckily, the Sixers will be one of those 4 Eastern Conference teams.
Yeah.
So that's where the NBA is going, and then it's going to be the LeBron rule, and then everyone's going to blame all this on LeBron.
So what's it going to be? 116, 215, 314, like
right.
that. Oh,
yeah.
So you think they're going to make it NCAA style?
Right.
God. You know, the NHL did that back in the 70s. I don't think that that's a good system at all. And you'd be surprised how many teams get knocked out. Because one thing about the NHL, you know, a hot goaltender can really make all the difference.
All right, for all you football junkies, Eagles linebacker Nigel Bradham, he's gonna have to sit out a relatively big
game,
a big game against the Atlanta Falcons.
Oh, that's their opening game?
On Banner Night.
Is that their opening game?
That's their opening game at the Link.
I thought they were playing Minnesota the first game.
No, they decided not to do that. The Vikings were too scared to come. So they had
the Vikings didn't want to go 0-1. Is that the issue?
They had to change it. They were too scared to come, so they had to come to Philadelphia in week 5. I think it's week 5, something like that.
What are they hoping that the Eagles will have some injuries and they won't have to deal with
Maybe,
it?
but they'll still win.
Chickens.
Cousins will be on his ass, but that's a big loss against Atlanta for Brad.
Yeah, Atlanta's
a good team.
Yes, they are. And I'll tell you what, they gave the Eagles all they could handle last year.
Yeah, I mean, 9 times out of 10, Atlanta punches that ball in and go to the NFC Championship game. I know that doesn't jive with popular opinion in the city of Philadelphia.
But you still got to give the Eagles credit. They were able to hold them off.
They held them out.
And that's really all
They held them out.
You know, I mean, you knew Atlanta at the end of the game. You knew that they would go down the field and they would make a threat because they're a good team. You know, the Eagles were able to stop them. I think the Eagles were fortunate that they didn't play New Orleans, that they got to play Minnesota, because Drew Brees would not have played like
Played horrible.
he wouldn't be.
Other
horrible
note,
the way-
where the Eagles' Week 2 opponent, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, will be without their starting franchise quarterback, Jameis Winston.
He's gone for what, 3 games?
He has gone for 3 games. They are it's the Eagles, I think the Patriots, it's one of them, and
It's the Eagles, it's the Packers, and it's the Steelers.
Oh, that's
okay,
0-3.
3.
That's
0-3 in a division
It might
with.
be 0-3 even with Winston. Against
I mean,
those
their
teams.
season's done if that's the case, because that's the one division, one of the few, because you have the Saints, legitimate team, you have the Panthers, legitimate team, and you have the Falcons, legitimate team. If you start 0-3, you're not catching up.
No, you're not.
You're not.
No, I agree with you.
So
I
they're
agree with you.
done, and it's a shame.
What an
No.
idiot.
Yeah, well,
What an idiot.
he couldn't keep his hands off a Uber driver. Jesus Christ.
That's fine.
What is wrong with
I
that guy?
mean,
You know what? Basically,
it's a shame.
you know what the problem is with him?
They
He's
should have
had
picked
so many-
he should have
he's
picked
had-
Marcus Mariota.
He's had so many.
That was like
so many
such a
issues.
clear-cut first pick in that draft that they were dead set on Winston. I didn't understand it. I would have taken
Well,
Mariota.
because Winston is more of a drop back quarterback, and they felt that he was more NFL ready than
I think
Mariota.
Marcus Mariota's
I-
in for.
I'm
I
not
think Marcus
saying-
Mariota was injured last year and still won a playoff game, and I think he's destined for big things this year.
Yeah, I like him too.
I think the
I
Titans
like
gonna be
him.
really good. That's one of the losses I have chalked up for the Eagles at Tennessee in November.
That's gonna be a tough game. But I mean, you never know. You never know what who's gonna be healthy and who's not. With the NFL,
It's true. It's a valid point.
You know, the NFL is just because of the injury factor. It's really hard to pick with the NFL. I mean, look at the Eagles. Who would have thought that when Wentz went out, that Foles would come in and win the Super Bowl? Especially the first couple of games that he played during the season.
He had some
He looked
some clunkers
looked
in there
terrible.
in the regular season.
Yeah,
The
he
Raiders
looked-
game they ended up winning.
But he didn't.
He didn't play
look
good.
Yeah, I mean,
They played Dallas, I think, down the stretch, and
Yeah,
he
he
was
got
not
shut
good
out.
in that one either.
he really didn't. He didn't look all that great against Atlanta either. But you know what? He was great against Minnesota.
He was great against New England.
He was great against New England. He was unbelievable against New England. I mean, I'll tell you what. Between the two of them, that was some of the best quarterback play you've ever seen in the Super Bowl between two.
You're right there.
quarterbacks.
How about Carson Wentz, despite being injured, being number 3 on the NFL top 100 list? Number 3. Highest debut ever.
And who was the idiot on the internet that said he wasn't in the top 10 of quarterbacks?
Oh, that was Derek Carr. Not Derek Carr, David Carr on the NFL Network.
David, come back to us. What are you smoking?
I want
mean,
some of it.
Are you
'cause
kidding
it's
me?
good stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are you kidding me, man? I think.
I mean, you got Brady, you got Rodgers. Let me just say, I posted.
Well, you know what's crazy? If you want, I'll give you guys.
I'm sorry. You can't sit there and tell me that Phillip Rivers is better than Wentz.
Not at
That's just
all.
irresponsible.
I agree.
I mean, listen, I hate the Eagles too.
I
Okay,
mean, Phillip Rivers, been in the league for what, 12 years?
he's not
Never
as good
won
as
nothing.
Wentz. He's
Never
not as
won
good-
nothing.
He's a good quarterback, but he's a good quarterback. He's not Wentz.
He's good. Yeah, he's good.
Okay,
That's it.
Big Ben is still good, but he's at this point, Big Ben is getting to the end.
There were 3 big things that were
If you want to
nuts
see
to me.
Brady, if you want to say Brady and Aaron Rodgers, okay. You know
You know where they had Aaron Rodgers?
where?
10.
Oh, stop.
And there's 3 things that is crazy to me with this list. And I really don't pay attention to the NFL Top 100 because it's players and it really doesn't mean anything. But, and they say they graded off of, production the past year and potential going forward.
Mm-hmm.
So the big 3 things was Aaron Rodgers at 10, Fletcher Cox at 69. How is Fletcher Cox? He's not in the top 50? Really?
Are you talking about the top 100 list or Derek
Yes.
Carr's top
Was
QBs
Odell,
heading?
was Odell in the top 100 list?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
David,
So even though we
I-
didn't
I'm
play, he still
referencing.
should be
I'm
in there.
referencing, and I think Brad is too. David Carr of NFL Network,
That's who
top
I'm-
100,
That's top 10.
top 10
Quarterbacks.
quarterbacks going into.
Oh, I didn't see this.
2018.
Okay. I
You
actually
have
didn't
to-
see this.
You have to see this.
So
because
it's-
Yeah.
it's so ridiculous.
Heading into 2000, so for this season coming up, who is the best? Carson
you.
Wentz was not on the list. So it's It's
Listen to this.
It's Brady, it's Rodgers,
Okay.
Breeze,
Okay.
His brother, Derek Carr, is 4th, which
Oh,
Okay.
then we're done. We're already done with this list.
Russell Wilson is number 5. Okay. Matthew Stafford is number 6.
No.
Philip Rivers is number 7.
No.
Matt Ryan's number 8. That's fair.
Sure.
Cam Newton is number 9.
No.
No.
And Jimmy G is number 10.
I'm gonna lose my. I'm gonna lose.
Terrible.
No, it's funny you say Jimmy
Terrible.
Garoppolo because he was the number. Remember, I said there was 3 things with this NFL Top 100. It was Aaron Rodgers. He should not be 10. He should be 1,
Maybe 2.
maybe 2. Let's just say top 3. Let's just
Well,
we'll compromise.
1 or 2 because it's either Brady and him or him and Brady.
Yes, because
That's fair.
number 1, production on the field. Every time he plays, he's a god. 2,
Yeah.
potential going forward. He's the best quarterback alive. He's
And-
better than Brady at the moment.
Is that the criteria for the top 100?
Potential and production,
And
yes.
don't forget with Rodgers.
Yes.
His team doesn't play. He doesn't play defense. He can't help his
No,
team defense.
and without Aaron Rodgers, that team was worse than the Browns.
They
That
were
roster is
awful.
awful.
Yeah,
Jimmy
that's
Garoppolo
awful.
being on the top 100 list is
He's 90. And you know what the problem is? And I like Jimmy Garoppolo. I think he's going to be he's a
Oh, I
good
think
quarterback.
I think he's going to be real good.
But the whole thing, like people were trying to tell me, oh, Aaron Rodgers was penalized because he only played a handful of games last season. Well, why? Jimmy G played 6.
Odell Beckham
Yeah.
played how many games? Two or three games.
2.5.
He was
2.5.
on the.
2.5.
I forget what number he was. He was on the list.
So why is it that Jimmy Garoppolo is being helped because he only played 6 games? Good 6 games. He played great, especially for a team that was dead in the 49ers with, oh, God, what was the quarterback that they had? Forget his name.
They had
Oh
the,
boy,
the poor
They
guy.
were
He almost
bad.
got killed against the Eagles.
He sounds like a bust of a quarterback, too, like his name.
C.J. Beathard.
Yes,
from Iowa.
C.J.
Oh,
Beathard.
that was-
Good
it
Lord.
was-
It's terrible.
Yeah,
It's
he
like-
was bad.
Not good.
I think the 49ers, they're going to be, I mean, I'm not saying they're going to be good, okay? But anyone that's going out there saying they're a Super Bowl contender,
8-8 this year.
yes, which is a good jump from
8
where they
and
were
8.
this time last
Yeah,
season.
well, what did they finish? 6-10.
Yeah, they won 6 straight games.
Yeah, but here's the thing: the season
They won
was
6
over,
straight to be what 7-9.
or 6-10, something
7
like
and 9
that.
or 6 and 10, something like that. Yeah.
But here's the thing: when you do that, okay, it doesn't really count because the season's over and there's no pressure. Nobody's expecting you. Nobody's expecting you to win. You've got no
when
pressure
a
on your
team
team.
is locked in on Jimmy G for a whole week and figuring out ways to stop him,
Well, they're
and
not gonna-
exposing his
yeah, they're
weaknesses,
not
he's
gonna-
not going to be throwing for 400
yeah, and
yards
he's-
every week.
and they're not. And listen, they're going to be ready for him.
Teams
and
looked
they're
at the
gonna-
Niners last year. Like, okay, this isn't. Let's go out drinking the night
problem.
before. We got this one.
Right.
We're good.
Right, and they got shocked. They got shocked the next game, but it's not gonna.
Uh,
It's not gonna happen this time.
Yeah, another team with the top 100 list. First up, the best right tackle in football, Lane Johnson, was, I forget his exact ranking, but he was on one of the first. He was between 90 and 100, which is a joke.
How are you between 90 and 100 when you're the best player at your position?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I don't know.
That's
Brandon
a-
Graham was not on the list. Atrocious.
I mean, can someone explain to me why Fletcher Cox was not in the top 50? I mean, you could arguably say in just that Falcons game,
say-
if we do not have him in that Falcons game, we
he
lose.
dominated.
We lose by 20.
I think
dominated.
he's top 15 actually.
Yes.
He
Aaron
dominated.
Donald was like 3 or something.
Six
But
or
the next
seven.
best is Fletcher Cox at 69? Like, how is that? Fletcher Cox is one of the most dominant defensive players in the league.
He was unbelievable last year. Now that's I don't get where they even come up with this
Oh,
stuff.
it's voted
but-
on by the players.
and
Yeah.
that David Carr.
That's the whole lore of the list. Voted on by
David
the people.
Carr to not put Wentz in the top 10.
Top 10 QBs heading into
Well, who would
2018.
you? All right, so
Yeah, I saw that. I was like,
Top 10 QBs heading into just counting 2018, not looking at potential or anything like that.
what would your guys be? Your list be? I know I'm hitting you on the spot
Yeah,
with
no,
that,
no,
but
no, that's
what's your
fine.
top going into the next season? What's your top 10?
Brady,
Rodgers. And I'll put
Mm-hmm.
Wentz 3.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Drew Brees is still going to sling it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Russell Wilson is still good, even though he's not going to have much help there this season.
Yeah, he might
But
drop
he's-
just because of that.
He's really good. It's not going to be his fault that they suck this year.
I'd put Ben up there
Yeah, you have to still put
because he
him
still has
up there.
weapons. You know what I mean?
Matt Ryan is certainly in
Matt
the top
Ryan
10.
is still.
I think he's gonna have a great year.
Matthew Stafford would be in my top 10.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what about the guy on the Rams?
I was gonna say Jared Goff,
I mean, he was really good last year.
Kirk Cousins, maybe scratching the top 10. I mean, he doesn't have an excuse anymore. He has help now.
Yeah, he does, and he's got a great defense.
I would put Jared Goff in my top 10. Kirk
Yeah.
Cousins.
He should be. He should be around there. He should be like 10 or 11.
Kirk Cousins has an opportunity to be there.
Yes, he has the opportunity. Now,
has
do
the-
I think he's going to do it? No.
I mean, if I stand
Yeah.
alone on this one, I'll put Marcus Mariota in my top 10.
He'd be up there for me.
He could be. Yeah, he could be
Deshaun
definitely
Watson should be
Yep.
in the top 10.
there. You gotta. He needs to see him play more. You need to
Well,
see
if,
him play
if
more.
I'm putting Wentz 3 and, like, Watson got hurt before Wentz.
Yeah, but here the problem with Watson, you can make the argument that Watson has a RG3 type of. He's an RG3
Well,
type
that's
of quarterback.
that's a
and
ridiculous statement because
Oh,
RG3
you forget
RG3
how good RG3 was his rookie year.
listen, RG3 could not sling it from the pocket like Deshaun
He-
Watson can.
He could when he first came up before he started getting hurt.
Deshaun Watson's also a winner. Proven thoroughbred winner.
Okay.
RG3 has never won a thing in his life, and don't
Well,
even give me
now
the
he's
Heisman Trophy.
He's not good. He's not good now. I'm not saying that, but when he first came into the league, he was a bit of
Deshaun
a,
Watson is a blue chip pocket passing quarterback.
I want to see it first.
Did you watch it last? Did
I-
you
I
watch the
did.
Texans?
I did, but I want
The
to see
Texans
them.
might have made the Super Bowl if he
I
didn't
wanna
get
see-
hurt.
I want to see them. I want to see them. I
So-
want to see him come off his injury, stay healthy for the whole season, and have a big year. I want to see that. If I see that, then I'm with you on that.
So
I'm not,
let
I'm
me
not,
let
I'm
me
not
nail
disagreeing-
this. Let
I'm
me
not
nail this
disagreeing
down
with
to
you about
10.
that.
So I have Brady, Rodgers, Wentz, Breeze, Russell Wilson, Matt Ryan is 6, Matthew Stafford is 7. Not going in order. I'm just naming 10, the top 10. I'll figure out the order later if there's time. Mariota would be in mine. Deshaun Watson would be in mine, and I have one left.
How about Jimmy G? You want to give him? You want to give him
But
that?
if you're gonna hate on Watson for,
He had 6 games. I mean, he had 6 games. So I mean,
let's see, we have Alex Smith, Kirk Cousins.
yeah, when you start getting into those guys, what
Oh,
about
I'll take
what about Eli now with
No, I'll take
with
Goff.
This new cast?
Goff would be number 10.
Okay. I can't disagree with any of the guys you have, and
And
I would agree with all those guys.
Derek Carr would be 11. I don't know, Derek Carr. Like Derek
He
Carr,
was
like, what
just
is
not-
he? What do you
he's
think
just-
of him, Brodo?
Extremely inconsistent. He had the one great season 2 years ago, but people forget.
He came off a very serious knee injury, though.
He's got a
And a back injury, too.
He's got the Gru dog now, though.
That doesn't do anything for me.
No.
The Raiders are that one team in the NFL.
They're
I
run-
literally have no idea what they could either be 12-4 or 4-12.
I agree with you
Yeah,
there. If
they
you're running
are.
Spider 2Y banana all the time.
I mean, they
Yeah,
could
they
literally
are a
take the
bizarre
league by
team.
storm because it's so different, or they could be literally a dumpster fire, and they're going to be stuck with
Well,
Gruden for 10 years.
They need to get Khalil Mack into camp
Yeah,
and make
here-
him happy.
Here's a guy I want to see what happens, and I know his team stinks, but I want to see Andrew Luck. I'm very interested in seeing
If
how
he's
he plays.
healthy, you got to put him. He's got to be.
If
on the
he's
top
healthy,
10.
he's a top 10
See,
quarterback.
I read a report about 2.5 weeks ago
No one knows.
that it almost reminded me of the Fultz situation, which is not good. They said there was a report right after he started throwing just a normal football. It wasn't a regulation NFL football. It was just normal.
Yeah.
There was talks that he was, quote, reaching a mental block when throwing the football.
He forgot how to throw the football.
I'm thinking to myself, oh, God,
So
if
what,
that's
is this-
real, his career's over. If that's
Oh, that's the
real,
case.
he's done.
Is this a
Yeah,
new
that's
thing
the
now in
case.
sports though? Like people,
Mental block?
Like they forget how to. These guys get hurt or whatever, or something.
forget how to
The
play.
littlest thing happens, and they just forget how to play sports. They've been playing since they're little kids, dominating every level, and they're just gonna forget how to play sports. That's what's gonna happen.
Wow.
Deion Brown on the YouTube says, Foles played well against the Giants, and at the end of the day, we are world champs. Rivers put up major numbers at the end of his at the end of his team's seasons. Ever since he lost Tomlinson, he throws the ball 85% of the time. For
That's
lack
true.
of running game, inflated numbers,
I
still
mean,
a very good quarterback.
That's all fine and good.
That-
He's not a top 10 quarterback.
No.
No. And I think that's what Deion's saying. Basically, he's
not.
kind of under the same category, in my opinion, as Matthew Stafford. It's inflated numbers.
Well, I like Matthew Stafford.
No,
Oh,
I
man.
like him,
I
but
like
the
Matthew
stats,
Stafford.
I think the
Matthew
stats are
Stafford-
inflated.
Matthew
Matthew
Stafford has
Stafford
never
is
had a
always.
running game.
No, I understand that.
He's always putting a rabbit
Yeah,
out of the hat at
he's-
the end of the game for the
Yeah,
Lions.
he's really
Yeah,
good.
but that's my point. It's that they're always down by 20-some points, and they have to come crawling back. I mean, that's why if you
Not
look
because
at
of him. They can't
no,
stop anyone.
no,
never-
it's not. It's not a representation
it's
of
never
him.
his
It's just
fault.
that's why people say he's Mr. A stat magnet, it's because of his team situation. It's not because he sucks as a quarterback, because he's putting up the numbers.
Yeah, he could play on my team anytime. I like him.
I mean, all my point is his stats, if you just look at numbers, he's looked at as one of the all-time greats just as far as stats. At least he's on pace for that. Now, if you look at accomplishments, he's not, which is a shame.
If you were having a fantasy league, he'd be a quarterback. You would
Yes.
be highly interested.
Yeah. That makes sense.
That would be he would be one of those types of quarterbacks. I mean, he's a real good one. I mean, Rob, I gotta agree with every one of the ones you had. I mean, I think you could stick Jimmy G in there just based on how good he was.
Because of 6 games?
Well,
He's a top 10 quarterback based on 6 starts.
Well,
they were a good 6 start, but 6 starts.
You're putting
saying you wanted
Watson in there too.
I did not put Did I put Deshaun Watson in my final 10? I forget.
Did he? I can't remember.
You mentioned him, but you didn't officially put him in there. You were just naming guys.
Yeah, all right.
But, I mean, if you're gonna wait and see on Deshaun Watson, how can you not wait and see on Garoppolo?
Yeah, well, I think you got to wait and see on both of them. I agree with you. The only difference is that Garoppolo isn't coming off an injury. But
now, what's your opinions of Mitchell Trubisky?
I think the Bears might surprise some people this year.
I think that he stinks, and I don't think that team's going to be any good this year. They still can't stop anybody.
See, Chrome over on Birds of a Feather, he's a big Mitchell guy, and he thinks the Bears could, really make some moves. I was telling him, I said, it's not a representation of him, but no matter what, if Mitchell Trubisky has a good season,
I would be shocked.
Either way, he's still the 4th best quarterback in that division.
Yeah, by a mile.
Yes, because you have Rodgers, you have Stafford, and you have Cousins.
Yeah, by a mile.
I mean, am I lying?
You're not lying.
Yeah, that's
you're right on the money. You're right on the money.
That's the predicament they're in.
You're twisting. You're twisting. But just because he's the 4th best quarterback in that division doesn't mean he's a bad player.
No, I didn't say that. My point is, for all of the people, and listen, if you think the Bears are going to surprise some people, sure. I don't think you're an idiot for saying that. My only point is that they are up against so many different elements, including...
They're in a good division.
Yes, well, with fantastic quarterback play.
Right.
Like, Mitchell Trubisky could have an above-average season this year, but he will still be the 4th best. He still will. But because an above-average...
There's going to be opportunity for him to put up stats against the Packers and the Lions. They don't have good defenses.
Yeah, but you look who you're going up against. Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers makes defenses look like idiots.
Yeah, the one thing that the Bears do have that those teams don't have is a real good running back.
Yes. Yeah. No, listen. I think
that's the
Jordan Howard. He's good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, you're saying he is good.
He is good. Yeah.
Well,
I like, but I don't like the Bears.
They can win like 6-7 games, but that's not.
Oh, they have Burton at tight end now. They have
still
Allen Robinson.
They still can't stop
at
anybody.
Receiver.
All coming off of a major injury.
I still like that signing though.
It was a good signing. Just stay healthy.
I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. I think you're going to go 8-8. You'd be on the right track.
Yeah, well, there you go. As long as you're not saying like surprise some teams and make the playoffs, then if you agree that they're going to be around 7-8 wins, then I think we're in agreement.
I think it's more like 6 because somebody's got to come in last in that division.
It's true.
And it's going to be that. I think it's going to be them.
This Lions team could implode. I mean, they don't really. Did they make any? I mean, they signed LeGarrette Blount.
LeGarrette Blount.
That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's their big signing. That might be their best running back they've had in years.
It is their best running back.
Which is crazy. I mean, LeGarrette Blount, I love him. I mean, listen, he's part of Super Bowl.
That guy Abdullah, I mean, he's a real good running back, but he's always getting hurt.
Mm-hmm. I don't think you can trust him now.
No, you can't. And LeGarrette Blount, I mean, offensively, the Lions will score, but you really got to wonder about them defensively.
Yeah.
So that's an issue for them. I don't know. What do you guys think about my boy Eli Manning this year? Looks like the Giants have made some major moves here to try
I'm torn with who's going to be second in the East.
Giants.
Between Dallas and New York.
Dallas will win 7 games. 7.
But they won 7 last year, and Zeke Elliott didn't play for how many?
No, they won 9 last year. The Cowboys?
They went 9-7 last year, not 7-9?
Yeah, they did.
I'd have to lean Cowboys second in the East. I don't like what the Giants. I don't know what the Giants. I don't like this 3-4 that the Giants are floating around.
Well, the reason they're doing a 3-4 is because they traded JPP, so they don't expect to have a big pass rush. So what they're going to do is
That's a huge
they're
problem.
going to be
NFL.
blitzing. They're going to be blitzing guys, linebackers from every direction, and they're going to try to get free shots at the quarterback. And back in the Bill Parcells days, that was the kind of defense the Giants used to use, was a 3-4. Now, they don't have Lawrence Taylor or Harry Carson and and Carl Banks back there, but they definitely did upgrade their linebackers. I mean, Ogletree was a huge trade. In my opinion, that was a huge move. I think they totally solidified their linebacking by getting him. He's a leader out there, and he should be very, very good for them. What I want to see is, will they be able to score a lot of points?
They're going to need to.
The Giants?
Yeah. Will they?
What makes you think they're not going to score a lot of points?
Well, I'm what the hype about their offensive line. Is it real? Solder is definitely an improvement.
Can't be any worse.
It was pathetic last year. The kid they drafted from Texas El Paso is supposed to be real good.
2-time first team.
And, the guy that they got from Jacksonville is supposed to be pretty good. So I mean, he's drafted a guy who should be able to run the ball real
Saquon
well.
Saquon Barkley's an animal.
So yeah, I mean this is a guy they now have 3 dynamic offensive players in Odell Beckham, Barkley, and Ingram.
I was going to say Ingram is the guy no one really talks about. I think he is a huge. Yeah, he's a player, man.
He's fast.
I love him.
I mean, if you look at
Sterling Shepard can play too.
Last year he was like the last man standing on that team because all the receivers got hurt.
I was talking about that 2 weeks ago, and I was saying that could be huge for a guy like him because he was a rookie. He was asked to be the focal point of that offense. The go-to guy.
He doesn't have to be the focal point of the Giants.
And
Odell Beckham's going to. By the way, did you see Odell in batting practice on Friday night?
I did.
I did not.
He hit like 3 home runs to left field.
I've seen him dunking the basketball before, which was unbelievable.
The fact that the guy can hit the
He's
ball
a
like
freak. Odell Beckham's a
oh,
freak.
Man, I mean, he actually hit one ball into the bleachers in left field. Do you know how far that is? I mean, not that many guys hit the ball that far. That's a shot. He had 3 home runs in batting practice, and from what I saw on the internet, people were like, "What?" Because nobody could believe it.
He's a freak athlete.
Yeah, he is.
He's one of the. I don't know how big of freaks these guys are, but Odell Beckham, I think if he decided he wanted to play basketball back when he was a freshman in high school and just put all of his effort towards being a basketball
he
player.
He would have been a big-time basketball player,
He would have made the NBA.
Yeah, I think you're right.
If he wanted to be a baseball player.
Maybe. I mean,
I think he would have made the major leagues.
He's an athlete the way like Dave Winfield used to be. I mean, I know that's a long time ago for you, but he kind of reminds me of that. That guy he's some athlete, boy. We'll see. We'll see what he looks like this year. I mean, again, he's coming back from a very serious ankle injury.
He looks fine in all the videos I see of him.
Yeah, but
catching the ball.
Yeah, but you know what? So did. So I'm trying to remember who the. So did Hakeem Nicks. When he broke his foot and then he came back, he looked just great. He looked great in practice.
Yeah, Hakeem Nicks is not Odell Beckham Jr.
No, but I'm just saying. But he had the same kind of injury, and he never really was the same.
Right, but a super athlete like Odell Beckham is going to recover better than Hakeem Nicks, who was a marginal pro.
Oh, he wasn't a marginal pro. He was he was on a team that won a Super Bowl, and he was their leading receiver back then. He was a real good player, Hakeem Nicks. Nobody could really guard him because he was so physical, and he was fast. But the foot injuries killed him.
Christ.
What's going on?
Sorry. No, so you're right. The NBA world's going crazy. So I found, I'm over here, I'm freaking on the machine over here, and I found an old video of DeMarcus Cousins flipping off a Warriors fan.
Oh boy.
So I posted it, and I just put like this clip didn't age well. Thing's freaking blowing up over here. It's been 10 minutes.
In Real Talk?
No, on the main page.
Oh, so you got everybody annoyed.
No. I'm saying it's like going viral again.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, oh God, what did I do?
Oh, it's okay. You just poke the bear. That's
all.
all.
No. I love it. Trust me.
You poke the bear. It's okay.
You're right, though, Rob. I mean, I mean, you saw me. I was when am I ever speechless? And I was speechless on the show when he freaking signed here, or when he signed with the Warriors. Excuse me.
I mean, yeah, everyone.
All right, so besides LeBron James signing for the Lakers, so far, which was the best signing by a team?
Well, George, obviously.
You think for Oklahoma?
You think?
Yeah.
I mean, Trevor Ariza 1 year, $15 million. That's not bad.
Yeah, but George is a better player than Ariza.
Understood.
I mean, I understand Oklahoma City is not going anywhere, but he's still a big time player, and that should definitely keep Oklahoma City in the relevant in the West. I mean, what are we looking at with Oklahoma City? 5 or 6?
5 or 6 what?
5 or 6 seed?
Yeah.
Something like that.
You got the Warriors, you have the Rockets, you have the Lakers, you have the Pelicans,
Minnesota,
Portland,
Portland,
Utah.
It's really loaded. The West is really
San Antonio. Loaded. God, I almost forgot about San Antonio.
Denver made the playoffs last year, didn't they?
They were 1 win out.
Oh,
they missed it by 1.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's when the Timberwolves
they
got
had
in.
47 wins and they didn't make the playoffs. That's why there's going to be realignment.
You think so? Say for example, Kawhi's gone from San Antonio. I don't think even if he's on there, I don't think he plays for them, to be honest. What happens to San Antonio?
They made a 7 seed last year and he played 9 games in the West. So if they make a trade and they get NBA bodies for him, they'll be in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean if they get Dario and Markelle, they're going to be good.
Here's a question for you. I mean, suppose the problem, from what I've heard, is Tony Parker.
Mm-hmm.
That Tony Parker is supposedly he can't stand Tony Parker. What
yeah,
if they just
Tony Parker called him out bad because he wasn't playing.
Apparently, Popovich told him to. Same with
Ginobili?
Yeah.
Mm.
Apparently, that was manipulated by Popovich.
Okay.
But either way, I mean, if to your point though, Brad, I mean Tony Parker saying anything, I can understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, suppose they traded Tony Parker instead. Wouldn't that be a better idea? Tony Parker's an old man.
Isn't he a free agent? Or didn't he just resign? I feel like he's a free agent right now.
I don't think he's a free agent. I think he's still with the team. I mean, he's an old man now. I mean, my God, he was playing when San Antonio won a championship when they beat the Knicks when the Knicks had Sprewell. That's how long he's been playing. So, I mean, that was a long time ago. That was like 19. He's been playing for about 18 years
That's the
now.
thing. They're cornerstones. I mean, they're getting old, man.
I mean, is there any way that Boogie's ready for opening night? Like, no,
right? But they don't need him to be. That's the disgusting part about it. They could shut him down.
But like he could not. That's a serious injury.
Yeah.
He could give them nothing for the whole year.
They don't
playoffs
need him
included.
to. You know the Warriors. They don't care about regular season anymore. They had friggin' Draymond Green coach. They had Draymond Green coach the team. Remember that?
Yeah.
Steve Kerr took nights off. I mean, this is the NBA we live in right now. The Warriors, who are going to be the champions of the NBA again, they can literally take the regular season off. Oh, we'll be a 3rd seed? Okay, cool.
Yeah, at this point they can do that. Well, that's basically
the only reason they haven't won.
That's basically what San Antonio had been
The only
doing.
reason they lost in 2016 is they cared way too much about that stupid
They
record.
were tired, and Draymond got suspended. Yeah. They were tired from going all out to beat the
I don't
record.
want to hear about Draymond getting suspended because he got chance after chance to not be suspended.
No. I'm not saying they got screwed. I'm just saying he wasn't there. So, I mean, that was an element.
Yeah, and they still had all their horses at home in a Game 7 and lost.
No, I understand.
Yeah, they did. No, I mean, they lost fair and square.
No, I don't disagree with that.
But they spent more time chasing that record than they did. They were more worried about chasing that record than they were winning a championship that year, and that was the problem.
Curry imploded. He was playing hurt.
Yep.
That was before Durant.
Yeah, they lost in 2016, and then Durant joined
I'm just
up.
wondering.
You remember that year when they had 73 wins? The Oklahoma City Thunder had them dead to rights in Game 6 of the Western Conference Finals.
That's the funny thing. People say the Warriors
Durant choked on one hard. Russell choked. Westbrook choked. They both choked. They turned the ball over like 5 times in the last 2 minutes of the game. And they lost. They got run out of the building in game.
Game 6 was the game they should have won.
And that would have won them the series.
Yes.
That's the 3-1 lead people forget about.
Right.
which is hilarious.
They shouldn't have
There's
even been
two
in
of
the
them
finals
that
year.
season.
How many years did Durant sign for? 1?
No, 2.
2, okay.
He signed 2 years, a player option for the second year.
So he could opt out after next year.
He's going to opt out. He's going to opt out every season and then re-sign with the Warriors. So they don't, because he wants to be on the best team and get rings.
He wants to go for like
But
a
then-
5-in-a-row ring streak. That's
But
what he
then
wants right now.
idiots are going to look at the ring tally at the end of LeBron and Durant's career and try and tell me that Durant is a better player than LeBron.
When they don't look at the
Nah,
substance
they're
and they don't look at how it weighs out.
Well,
I mean,
he had more rings. All right, then Robert Horry is the best player of all time.
can I make the argument that
Sure.
LeBron getting to the finals with the team he had this past season was more meaningful than the Warriors winning everything? Because I think it is.
They were so bad.
Like, LeBron's achievement of just getting to the finals was more of an achievement than Kevin Durant winning another one with that team.
They beat the Pacers in Game 7.
Yep. When they had no business doing it.
That was on the road, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm. In Indiana.
That was a sweep of the Raptors for the second straight year.
Was it Indiana?
The Pacers in the first round.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if they
Was
were in
Rome or away?
Indiana.
I
They
think
were in Cleveland because they were a better seed.
They were the 4 seed. In
Yeah.
Pacers. Okay.
They
They
swept the
for the
Raptors,
second straight year.
who was the number 1 seed, so they swept the
Way
number
more
1 seed.
talented team than the Cavs were.
And then they came
Boston.
back from a 2-0 deficit when they were on the road in Boston, and he beat them.
Game 7 in Boston.
So where
is
do
a huge dog.
Where do the Raptors stand this year?
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't
after a
know.
great
Non-threat?
season, they completely imploded in the playoffs.
I think they're going to try and trade DeRozan, in my opinion.
I would take DeMar DeRozan on the Sixers.
He
in
might
5
be a Sixer in
seconds.
2 months, Brad. You never
There's-
know.
there's
I would
your-
trade him
there's
in
your
5
guy.
seconds.
Or Kyle Lowry.
Now,
Yeah, or Bradley
here's
Beal. I'll take
here's
Bradley
the-
Beal. No, he's a wizard, but still.
here is
Bradley Beal is a good player. I like
yardbarker.com.
Or Wall.
I'll take Beal.
John Wall is so good.
You know, no, I'll listen. I'll be happy with Wall.
I was gonna say. Listen, just because they didn't get the top of the top player,
How many
there's a lot of
years?
good players they could get.
Let me ask you this: how many years does Ben Simmons have left on his rookie contract?
3.
3.
I think so.
So what's that? 2021.
I think 20
So he's
21 season.
I'll bet right now that he's a Laker. He not resigning with the Sixers.
Oh God, Rob. That's how we're
I
that's how we're
guarantee
ending the show. Just like,
Hey guys, I want you all to understand.
because
Okay,
that's who he
I
cares
didn't
about.
say that because I
and
always
I don't
get
agree
blamed.
with it.
I always get blamed.
Oh, Ben
so-
Simmons is gone after his rookie contract. He's gone.
Then he'll
he's
go to the
gonna be a
Celtics
Laker.
if he's gone.
No, he's gonna go to the Lakers.
Go to the Knicks.
He wants to date all the Kardashians.
Nah, Kendall will break up. She'll
Yeah,
break his
date
heart
the other,
in
date
freaking
one
5
of the,
days.
date one of the other ones. There's a million of them. They got TV shows all over the place.
He's just gonna leave the NBA. He'll be a TV show star
No, that's
now.
good. And then that'll be the story. It'll be LeBron passing the Lakers torch to Simmons.
I'm gonna be sick.
That's
It's
going to
the-
happen. You heard it here on July 2nd, 2018.
Oh boy.
Top landing spots.
Dion says he'd take DeRozan any day of the week and John Wall. Thank you, Dion. Because
Me too,
John Wall would really be a good pickup for them.
Kevin Love seems to be on the way out in Cleveland.
Yep.
Yardbarker.com, which is seems to be a Cleveland Cavaliers like.
Okay, so
Type of
now
page.
SJM says the Lakers have as much chance as winning the Western Conference as the Mets winning the World Series.
Well, that's
I
not
wouldn't
true.
go
That's
that far.
Not
That's
true at
that's. I mean, that's a bit much. You're compared. That's like that. That would be like Rutgers winning the Big Ten championship.
all. Kevin
okay?
Love, good fit in Philly or no?
No, you
No.
don't want him. He's a dog.
He's not a dog.
He's
I
a
mean,
dog.
give me a break.
He's a dog.
What about Jabari Parker? Fit in Philly or no? He turned down 3 years, $54 million from the Bucks. Is he out of his mind? Is he nuts?
Just give me Bradley Beal. That's my new target. That's my new target. Him and Kemba.
What do you trade? What do you trade for Bradley Beal? Sarge?
Oh, that's too
Covington. What would you? All right, Brad. What would you trade if you're the Sixers?
That's too much. If you're gonna get Beal, you want to trade draft picks. You don't want to take eyes off your current roster. You're weakening your team.
Well, here's the problem,
It
though.
has to be a realistic trade that the
Yeah,
Wizards
people-
would pique their interest.
People
at
have to remember
least.
this too.
Okay, let's just suppose. And
Like when
I'm
people
playing-
say, "Oh, we'll
I'm
just
playing
give
devil's,
up."
I'm playing devil's advocate here.
Okay.
Okay. Let's just suppose by the trade deadline, okay, Wall's hurt again, okay, and the Wizards are having a miserable year. They're 24 and 32.
I think I'd rather
Okay,
have Otto
and
Porter.
they're not going
Take
anywhere.
Otto Porter instead of Bradley Beal.
Okay, there's a chance that could happen.
All right, what if if I would say it would have to be something like Dario in the 2021 pick or something, or
Yeah,
Dario in the
something-
2019 pick.
Something like that.
For
But-
Bradley Beal,
That might be. I think that's too much. I think you're overpaying.
I disagree because people have to remember Dario Saric. Pretty soon he's going to be up on his contract. He's going to be demanding more money, and we're going to have a hard time re-signing Dario Saric. Like that. That's a
you're
real.
not going to have a hard time re-signing Darius Saric because Ben Simmons is going to be in LA. It's 100% happening. The writing's 100%.
Where's the writing? Because of a Kardashian? Because of a summer fling?
Ben
Because of Ryan
Simmons-
Bikes?
Ben Simmons doesn't. I don't think he eats, lives, and breathes basketball. I just don't.
Oh my God!
I
Why?
don't. I
Because
think
he
he's
found
really
Kendall
good.
Jenner?
No, not at all. Not at all. I don't
boy.
think his life isn't basketball. He likes that extracurricular stuff. He likes.
What
All that-
extracurricular stuff? What do you?
He doesn't
For
like
what?
being in the limelight.
Who doesn't in the NBA? What, you're going to say the same thing about Embiid?
He's
Embiid's
leaving.
more about the limelight.
And beats signed.
I'm not We're going off of the premise that Ben Simmons doesn't care about basketball, or at least that isn't his number one priority.
No, I think he marches. I think he's much like Kawhi Leonard. I think he marches to the beat of his own. I don't know what motivates Ben Simmons.
Well, you just said that it seems like he's more about being in the limelight.
I think he cares about more being about a Hollywood star than
Why? What movie is he in? What TV show is he
none
in?
yet. Well, when he signs
None
when
yet.
he signs with the Lakers in 2021, he'll be
Brad,
on
what do we do?
a bunch of.
Do you
teams.
agree with this?
Listen, I didn't say it.
No,
so
I know. That's why I'm
all
going to you.
All you
If you think
haters
that's
out
not,
there
if you think
that
that's
hate
not a
me,
feasible take, you're out of your mind.
A feasible takeoff of
wow,
what?
that's
That is outlandish, Rob.
It's okay.
okay.
Give me.
You have SJM. Simmons
Yeah.
isn't leaving. Jesus, can we not even go there? He dates one girl, and you claim he doesn't love basketball.
This is free. This is outlandish to me.
Well, you know what though? God forbid if it actually happens.
No, I don't think Ben Simmons is a leader. I don't think Ben Simmons has a killer instinct. I think he's a phenomenal talent and has the potential to be a great basketball player.
All right, let me ask
I
you.
think he's going to bolt for LA when his rookie contract is up.
Well, let me ask you a question. Which one is it? Is it he doesn't care about basketball, or he isn't a leader? Which one is it?
It's all
See,
it's
I'm
all
already
wrapped into
see,
one.
I'm already getting.
It's
I'm already
all wrapped
getting
into one.
SJM 86. You said Brad. Buy a clue.
No, it's
SJM.
Rob. It's not Brad.
I'm not
Brad's
the
all right.
one. Would you? I'm always getting blamed every time there's an anti-Philadelphia thing.
No,
where
SJM. It's not
I was-
Brad. It's not Brad.
Cut me a break.
I'm here for
I
you,
didn't
Rob.
say
I'm
it.
here. I'm here for you, Brad.
I didn't say that. I didn't
No,
say
you're
that.
good. You're good.
Okay, I don't.
Based-
I don't know that.
Based off of what, Rob? Give me evidence that
gut.
he doesn't
My
care.
gut.
Oh no, his gut.
My gut
His
tells
gut.
me that he's going to be a Laker when his rookie contract is up.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about gut feeling.
No, I don't think Ben Simmons is a killer. I don't think Ben Simmons is a leader.
Oh, God.
I don't.
Well, after 1 year, you have to give him time to develop into that.
I think he was a pretty good leader with Markelle Fultz that came back, right?
Well,
He seemed like a leader.
listen, I would say this.
He was a leader when they went when they won 16 straight games without Joel Embiid, the most dominant player in the East.
SJM.
I mean, that's
you're-
leadership.
You're forgiven, but everybody always goes after me, and rightfully so, because I do tend to crush Philadelphia at every chance I get. But I can't take credit for other people's work, so you guys got to give me a break sometimes.
It's all
I
right.
mean,
And I do
I've
try
seen,
to be.
I've
fair.
seen people who host shows on this radio station have the same take.
Who said that? Because I would have crushed them too.
I-
Who said that?
You know what? I'd have to see it next year that he's distracted and playing lousy basketball before I made that assumption. Because that's a tough one.
It is a tough one.
He looks like a multi-talented player. He just looks like he needs to improve his jump shot a little
That's
bit.
it. He needs to find a shot. And you know what the sad thing is? He has a shot. He just hasn't gone to it. He can shoot. I'm telling you, he can shoot.
Remember, you know what, Jason Kidd, when he first came up, he couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. And you know what? He ended up when he was with the New Jersey Nets, he became the most exciting player in the league, and he actually was hitting a lot of three-pointers. He took that team and he dragged them basically. He dragged them by the tongues into the NBA Finals 2 years in a row. They didn't win, but he's still that. I see Ben Simmons as a very similar play, not height-wise, but his game is very similar to Jason Kidd.
I hope Ben Simmons stays with the Sixers for his entire career and wins multiple MVPs and multiple championships. But I don't know. I have a feeling he's not going to be here past his rookie contract.
All right, you want to bet? Let's make a bet. What do you want to bet here?
I don't. Whatever you want.
Yeah, but you
3
guys have
years
to wait
from
3
now.
years from now.
Well, this is how I'm. My opinion and my point is that I will bet anything to say, number one, that he cares about basketball. Two, he's not going to let a Kendall Jenner dictate his career.
Kendall Jenner has nothing to do with my opinion.
You're joking. So how did?
He
Oh
had
my
another
God,
one.
Rob! What? What are you talking about?
You don't think that's? I don't understand how this is so venom because I'm attacking one of our own. I'm not really attacking him. I just don't think he's going to re-sign with the Sixers. I'm not attacking his skill. I think he's a great player. I don't think he's a leader.
And you
I
don't think he cares
has a
about
killer
basketball?
instinct.
Okay, you're now being told that your opinion is respected, but it is asinine to say Simmons leaves. Braun paid his tab in Cleveland and left for his vacation home in L.A. Okay, I mean, look, Rob feels that he doesn't think he's going to be committed to Philadelphia, so we'll see what happens. We don't really know.
How is that
either
like the
way.
most outlandish statement ever?
It's not outlandish. It's not outlandish.
Which statement?
We'll see.
Which
that he's
statement?
not going to be a Sixer past his rookie
No,
contract.
I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about the whole killer instinct. He's trying to be a Hollywood superstar. He's not a leader. He doesn't have killer instinct. I just don't know how we can make a judgment call on that.
If Ben Simmons had a fucking killer instinct, they would have been in the Eastern Conference Finals. Probably would have been in the NBA Finals. He played horrible against the fucking Celtics.
Against the best coach in the NBA? Really?
So the coach?
As a rookie? Because game plan doesn't matter? Matchup doesn't matter, Rob? As a rookie.
It's the most talent-driven league.
The problem is what the Celtics did was they clogged the lane and wouldn't let him get dunks.
And who does that go on? Matchup, right? Game plan
coach,
that is game plan.
The coach clogged the lane
Yes.
and made sure that he wasn't going to. That if he was going to beat them, he'd have to beat him with the 10 to 12-foot jump shot instead of slamming the ball through the hoop.
Listen, if you want to call Ben Simmons in that series one-dimensional, sure, that's fair. But to say he has no killer instinct,
Not yet.
oh my!
Well, he hasn't been. Listen, in all fairness, he so far his killer instinct has been bully killer instinct. Okay, that I think I'm trying to get you guys in the middle here. It's kind of bully killer instinct against a team that really can't stop him inside. He can be a bully and he can have the killer instinct against a team that makes him have to work for a shot. Okay, he didn't really grit his teeth and do it. I get what Rob is saying, and I think that's where he's the point he's trying to make was he was not happy with the fact that Ben had to really work against the Celtics and he didn't see the full he didn't see him do what he had to do to score enough points so they could win that series. I mean, geez, they lost every game by how many points? By like under 5. I mean, it seemed like every one of those games.
They lost a couple heartbreakers.
Yeah,
they
but
lost a couple by double digits.
But guys like
But they lost some
Covington,
really close games.
that's going to be ignored. The fact that Covington went brain dead, the fact that Markelle Fultz couldn't get in a series. I mean, we're going to ignore other elements of this.
Yeah, but they're role players right now.
Robert Covington was viewed as way more more than a role player based
for
off
that
that
team.
contract.
No, he's paid like a
paid like
non-role player, but he's a role player.
He's a
He's
role
bench
player.
player.
I agree with
He's
that.
a bench player.
Just because he makes a lot of money doesn't make him any more than a. I mean, listen, Joakim Noah is paid like a superstar, and he doesn't even play. So I mean, You can't always go by what somebody's by the contract.
SJM said it's speculation based off of no fact. Simmons didn't play the best, but it was coaching. Let's be real. Simmons has played 1 year, just 1 year. Give him time. He's not a scorer yet. And Jeremiah said, we first off said LeBron is dead to me. Ben Simmons will develop. He has holes in his game, and we knew this coming in.
Yeah. What's the?
Basically saying if you're gonna,
I'm not trying to be. I don't understand where are they going with it. Yeah, he has holes in. He definitely has holes in his game.
Yeah, but my point, their point is that if we are going to say right now that he has no killer instinct, he doesn't love basketball, he's not this, he's not that, you're going to blame him solely.
But Kevin Durant doesn't have a killer instinct. He's one of the best players in the world.
Kevin Durant has been in the league more than 1 year, though, Rob.
I understand. And he still doesn't have a killer instinct.
Okay.
Kawhi Leonard doesn't love basketball. If Kawhi Leonard loved basketball, he would have played more than 9 games last year. Doesn't mean they're bad players.
So we've flipped so many different times here to where, Ben Simmons is going to leave because he wants to be a Hollywood superstar. 1. 2.
I do, yeah, and I do think that's in the back of his mind. I think he has motives off the basketball court that are going to draw him to the Los Angeles Lakers when his rookie contract runs out. I know that breaks the heart of Philadelphia fans, but I would not be surprised one bit if that happens.
So 2, Ben Simmons, yet he's been in the league for 1 year,
right?
Has no killer instinct. He doesn't love basketball. I mean, we're sticking with that too?
And that doesn't mean he's a bad player.
If someone tells me about any player and he says, hey,
I just gave you 2 examples.
Of Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant is not a killer. He's not a killer.
He's a second best player in the NBA.
But he's not a killer. I agree. But he's not a killer. Kawhi Leonard doesn't love basketball.
And how do we know
If
that?
Kawhi Leonard loved basketball, he would have played more than 9 games last year.
He was hurt, and then he got in a fight with the organization.
He's not. Come on. He's
He wasn't hurt. He wasn't hurt.
Yeah, strained quad for
so
a
you think
year
he just
and a
decided
half.
not to play?
Yes.
Did he tell you that?
It's pretty evident that he took his ball and went home after there's comments by Popovich and Leonard. He had no interest in playing with that team. He had no interest.
So he doesn't like basketball. So he doesn't love basketball? He just does. Maybe he just didn't like that organization or the coach, and he got offended. You could call him soft. I would say that for Kawhi Leonard.
But if Kawhi Leonard was a true junkyard basketball junkie, he would have said, I don't like the coach. I don't like
He would have
the
been
players.
out there. He would have been
out there playing.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's Kawhi Leonard, all right? Where did Ben Simmons do that?
He didn't, but
so where's the killer instinct coming? We just wanted to go on and on and on about the Kawhi holding out, not playing.
Okay.
When did Simmons do that?
But my point is that Kawhi Leonard is a top 3 player in the league, and he doesn't even. I don't think he eats, breathes, and sleeps basketball.
Okay.
He may not.
Okay, that's fine.
That's a fair comment. That's a fair comment after what happened.
I don't think
last
Ben
year.
Simmons
We'll
is
see.
that either.
We'll see.
Doesn't mean he's bad.
We'll see. Well,
I don't think Ben Simmons has a killer instinct.
He's only played one. He's only been in there.
Doesn't
for
mean
1
he's bad.
year,
Kevin Durant's not a killer.
Oh, I disagree with that. I think he's a
Chris
silent
Paul's
killer.
not a killer.
He's not a killer. Chris Paul? All right, we'll just have to agree to disagree because this is going to go on for 3 hours. And Premier 23 saying, this is NFL offseason. Why are we talking about Leonard? It's great analysis by you, Premier.
Because
Oh, by the way, the Yankees and Braves are now in extra innings.
Oh my
tied
God.
3-3.
Well, hopefully
Kimbrel is in there for the Red Sox trying to hold a 4-3 lead against the Nationals.
SJM says, all I'm saying, stating Simmons leaving based off of lack of killer instinct, he wants to be Hollywood, which has never been said, and now Braun being there is erroneous.
I just said it.
Yeah,
so
but
it
he's
has
saying.
been said.
No. All right.
Premier, you're
all
new
right,
here.
we wrap it up. I gotta get my ass back to Bucks County.
Okay,
let's wrap it up. Sports Hounds be with you 8 to 10 next Monday. A2D Radio. Rob Brinkman, Brad Ryer, Ryan Brodo. See you next week.